school near you. Okay, everybody, who's in?
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
We are Fox Sports.
I'm Doug Russell. Well, that was fun.
Uh-oh. Is this number one? Lara deep to left. And it is number one in the big leagues for Luis Lara. Another 3-run home run, the third of the game. And Lara finally has a major league homer on the board.
BA on the call on Brewers television. This one just got silly late. Milwaukee clobbering Seattle 22-0 at American Family Field. The Brewers scoring all but one of their runs in the final 4 innings of this one. In doing so, the Brewers tie a franchise record for runs in a game. They also tie a baseball record for most runs scored in a shutout. With the win, the Crew gets back to 30 games over 500. They also have the best record in all of baseball. Game 2 against the Mariners is tonight at 6:40. Dustin May will pitch against Logan Gilbert. And the Packers have a close to the public practice today ahead of Friday night's preseason tilt at Denver. The Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Bill for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 yes. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the board y'all do. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Sit down, guys, after and make the play. Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, B hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid.
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
And Armen Sarian.
Zip. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Welcome aboard, 5 o'clock clubbers. We're glad to have you here. Drew Olson, Bill Schmid, Armen Sarian. We are here. And all I can say is, well, that escalated quickly.
My goodness.
Brewers at American Family Field. Neither rain nor sleet nor tornado warnings in the area could deter the Milwaukee Brewers from turning a 1-0 game, a seemingly benign and somewhat, tenuous 1-0 game in the 5th inning, into a historic 22-0 rout.
A night that you thought you were going to have some bullpen questions. Who's going to be going in here? How long are you letting Kyle Harrison and that little bit of a decreased velo go?
He was sweating, man.
Well, everybody was sweating in that place.
I know.
My man Miller on the mound for the Mariners was sweating like me at a Packers training camp live practice in the 90-degree heat. But, Drew, they turned up the temperature pretty quickly. And you're right. It didn't matter what kind of sirens you sound. I don't know anybody thought the 22-run siren was going to get hit for the Brewers yesterday.
Our pal Sam Cuffle was tweeting, and she said, the bathrooms are like the safe place. So if you're at the ballpark, you want to feel safer, head to the bathroom.
I'll tell you what, it's not the first time we've said that. I mean, head to the Miller Park bathrooms, just huddle around everybody, feel safe. No, I'm just making a joke. I mean, can you imagine being
a joke in a situation like this?
No, not. No, everyone's fine. So I'm not making a joke of it. No, when you go to the stadium, though, and there are nights like that where it acts like a pressure cooker, where it's obviously closed, but the humidity's rolling through and it's super hot in there. You saw Harrison dripping. You saw everybody sweating. So that's why the velo thing didn't concern me too much. But, yeah, I'm sitting there and I get the alert on my phone that the warning hit Milwaukee County. And I flip on TV. It was Lindsay Slater on TV who was going through the warnings and saying, at American Family Field, they've issued on the scoreboard, but they've said everybody's safe. She goes, I don't necessarily agree with that. But I was like, all right, let's go. So it was a pretty wild night. So then the thunder's rolling through, or the storm's rolling through. Then all of a sudden the Brewers bats are exploding. And you're like, wow, this one was going nuts tonight. This is a night for the ages. So 22 runs and 21 of them after the 5th inning, which I thought was kind of crazy.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah. So it was just an amazing night for the bats. For the
wild
Brewers.
weather night, a lot of trees down.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't think we had any rotation or touchdowns. Did we have tornadoes?
It never spun up, as far as I know, from what I was. I had like all our local meteorologists on. Okay,
ridiculous winds. Armen was geeking out. You didn't lose power, obviously. Then that's good.
No, I didn't. As I was running,
did.
as I was getting everyone in the basement with my mag light and my transistor radio.
Thanks to your current electric generator that would definitely have kicked in and saved your house in there. I also so were you watching like Weather Red Zone? Were you tapping around on different?
Clearly, what he was doing.
Were you like octoboxing the Weather Channel to try to find the exact kind of breakdown of the warnings and stuff that you like?
So I encountered an issue, yes, and I realized like I've got my antenna for the local channels, because I'm the streamer. I don't do the I don't have that cable package where you can get all the. So you have the antenna, but the antenna obviously with the storm there's a little interference. So I was like trying to adjust the antenna. I haven't found a way to get all 4 local channels on one screen though with the antenna. I don't think there's a way unless I get 4 TVs.
I don't think antenna good as free local antenna television is. I don't know that they've got the quad box. But I thought they fired it up on Fox 6 yesterday. And Drew, you've got friends in that WISN newsroom. Your boy TJ had the epic moment online where people were calling him during the NBA Finals of, "Hey, stupid weather off here. I'm trying to watch the basketball game."
Brilliant video.
Fox did a great job last night. Fox 6, Stephanie Barrichello was giving you all the information you needed and moving around the screen. We saw the whole breakdown of the Jake Bowers slide. And Drew, I was again extremely fortunate. It sounds like we avoided a bad situation.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
But as I'm watching it all, I've now figured out. I don't know that I'd be able to do your Arkansas situation with the maps and reading onto where the freeways and everything would go. But I now know like the exact corridor, reading the freeways as to where my house is, right? Like we're about in the location I'm at. And throughout all the different warnings, there's like one little crevice, one little triangle that basically was right over the house that was not impacted. I mean, everything around, whether it was Muskego, Waterford, Watertown, New Berlin, Greenfield, everything was in every single one of the warnings. And I'm sitting here looking around like, I'm not trying to be storm chaser guy, but I'd like to see a cloud.
It was the eye of the storm.
It was crazy. We were right in the midst where there was like legitimately nothing until all warnings ceased, and then we got a little bit of rain. But so we were extremely lucky last night, because it does sound like some people were not nearly as fortunate.
Yeah, I mean the north side of the county got more, and I think it went south as well as the system kind of made that little boomerang bow. So it didn't. At least we saw the reports of the trees and things like that. I didn't see anything of a spin up or anything touch down. So could be worse always. That's why you know that you're aware of that. Could always be worse. Safety first, but we can smile a little bit today.
Yeah,
and then your home team puts up 22 runs.
One of my friends on Facebook had to ride out the storm. She said she was backstage at the Walmart in Delafield.
Now that's where I want to be if there's a storm.
It's like they told the people to go in like the back where it's like the safe area, and she said they were giving us granola bars and water back there.
Could be a lot worse spots to be hanging out and riding out the storm.
Okay,
let's go.
Miss the freebies. Yeah. Next time there's a storm, I'm going to drive around the Walmarts and look for free stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, can we hunker down in here? Did give me flashbacks to it was middle of April, middle of May when we were doing an Admirals game, and the weather impacted over at the Milwaukee Admirals game. We had a tornado warning, tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning, but everybody had to come into the concourse. Luckily, that wasn't the case last night, and luckily then, right after the heat subsided, the Brewers woke up. But I definitely enjoyed throughout it seeing people just hanging out watching the game being like, my phone just keeps going on. Hey, would you silence that, dude?
Everyone at the same time.
I'd really like you to stop having this siren going off while I'm trying to enjoy a ball game. I wonder how many people were just blissfully somewhat unaware as to just what chaos was happening outside.
Yeah, that had to be a wild spot. If you were at the game and you're awake and with us in the 5 o'clock club, kudos.
Hit us up.
But hit us up. 877-794-1973. Get to the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. What a night. I mean, you got Drowan pitching in relief while the game was still kind of, like I said, tenuous in the middle of the game. And for the Brewers to blow it open like that and have the fun and have El Gary finish it out. And Lara hits his first home run. It's epic. And they were due for one of those, man. They were due for the powder keg. They were due to score. Yelich was due to hit a homer and drive in 4 runs for the first time in more than a year.
And in Drew, it felt like their, quote unquote runaways or comfortable victories have been 3-run games where McGill is getting loose in the 9th, right? Where like, you know that you still have to be somewhat dialed in because one swing could change it. And I thought the best part of it happened so long ago that you almost forgot about it. You mentioned Yelich's 4 RBIs, but that 3-run shot while the game is still very much up in the air, right? 3-run game. That's the first one that sparks it. No swing, hopefully bigger than that one, because it's great that Luis Lara got his homer. It's great that he didn't have to give up one of his bats because not making a ton of big league money. He can't be giving out a bunch of those Louisville sluggers and signing them for groups that are catching the home run. Just put that thing right behind the wall. Go and grab it. It'll be an easy transition. I don't even know what you mark that thing with, though, if it's off a position player. But Yelich being the guy that gives and delivers the first swing, and that being the one that really raised the roof and popped the top, that felt like the best part of last night.
That was the one. I mean, that was the big one. That really blew it open, and it was great to see for him, for the team. And the Bauer slide.
The Bauer slide was epic.
He's all of us. He's like, I got to get up again.
And I was wondering if he was hurt on that.
It looked like
he might have been. But then, as that play unfolds and you watch the replays, and that was right when I was getting the alerts and they were going to the, like, damn, come on. There's a play at the plate. I want to watch the replay.
What are we doing?
You're killing me with these updates. I was thinking, it was kind of a simpler time when you could just bowl over the catcher. And we used to have those absolute collisions, it
was it Mike Matheny and Prince Fielder at home plate? In Milwaukee the one time
where he got his neck snapping back because he had him low like that.
He rocked him. I was at that game for a magazine drive in grade school, and we see some things, and it definitely does remind you of a much simpler time.
It was a simpler time then, and I'm just wondering, like, there were some injuries, but there's a lot of injuries with guys trying to avoid the contact.
I think
and stuff.
That's the thing. Both sides were kind of ready for it, so you almost made your body.
The other day,
safer.
Sanchez, setting up to receive a throw at the plate behind the plate, and that was a weird. It's become weird.
Well, when you know you're going to get hit, it's like a block. You set.
It is kind of absurd because if you want to get into an Armen Saryan approved rabbit hole,
let's do it.
Go look up like Hal McRae, second base, like Willie Randolph, like the collisions they had at second base to break up double plays. What guys would do. And they would go 20 feet
way out of the baseline,
and just wipe guys out in the 70s. And there were a lot of fights after that, but those were just kind of like routine plays. Like, suck it up. He did what he had to do. It was like approved and accepted. And it was insane how vicious some of these hits are at second base.
Like Ronnie Lott up the middle. I mean, because it was the Chase Utley one at second base that kind of ended it, right? That was the one that brought a lot of the legislation, and Buster Posey at home plate. Again, great players miss time. A lot of times that ends up being the case, but you would quiver and laugh at the thought that was the one that ended it when you see some of the smashes and the collisions back there. I think of Rhys Hoskins a couple of years ago, right? Like that was considered a questionable slide that he had against Jeff McNeil. Was that on opening day when he hit the wham face out in the dugout?
Yeah.
They would have looked at that and everyone would have gotten up and dusted off. And I don't even think he would have looked twice when Willie Randolph was playing. If he was in one of the dugouts, he would have been jumping around. Hey, what are we doing here? We can't be having this.
He would have for sure. So fun night at the ballpark. Cubs won it also. That was the one downside, right? Cubs beat the White Sox.
Yeah,
they walked off again. Yeah.
Another game that they came back. White Sox were up 3-2 when your boy went to hit the hay, and then all of a sudden the rain delay hit as I turned in Len Casper. I thought they were going to potentially make that thing up this morning.
That's the only bummer of this is
it was already done.
You did get their 2 losses against the Cardinals, but they could have, if they could have lost, or if the Sox could have held on to both of these games, you'd have a nice 6.5 game lead now. But what can you do except win your own games? And that's what it is. That's all you can do is what you can do. So,
and like the weather, baseball, just wait a minute. Because the Mariners rolled into town having won a series in the Astros and put the paddles to their hey, we're in this, let's go. And then they have their worst game in franchise history. The Braves have lost 4 of 5.
I was just going to say Atlanta. Yep, they're sliding down.
They're sliding back too. Where it's just a game of runs like this. That's how it goes.
It's an NBA game across 2.5 months for the pennant race, right? Like, and you got to be able to have a Kevlar Cup for the nights that you're going to go back and forth, 8-0 run, 9-0 run, 10-0 run. Everyone's going to make one. And right now, it's just happening across a couple of days. But it is good. I appreciate you guys' conversation yesterday of just how much fun baseball is to watch and follow when your team is good. It's a much better. This is a much better spot, Drew. All due respect, as much as I loved reading you into the late stages of August and September, it's a hell of a lot more fun when you get like 5 or 6 more teams. It's like you have a fantasy team every single day that you're going back and forth with.
Yeah. And you're, like I said, you're watching your own. You're watching in the rear view mirror, watching the Cubs, and then you're watching the Dodgers. And you're following the Braves and seeing what the Phillies are doing. If they're going to be up in the race for the top 2 seeds, it's fun.
And thanks to Brewers TV, and some of us ended up going with the double package or the full season package, where you get the MLB Big Inning alongside That huge. MLB Big Inning they need a Scott Hansen. The 2 individuals that they have on there, congratulations, they're doing a nice job. They're doing a nice job. Effort. We need a little bit more moxie, I think, on the mic, but it is a good product, and it's a beautiful time on a Wednesday night to be able to follow along with the entire league, because there's a lot of good action.
It really was. So last night, I can say this, and we can say this definitively, because it's a core principle of the Huddle and my own sports philosophy, that 90% of being a fan is getting kicked in the nads. You mentioned a Kevlar Cup. Got to have it. Last night was a 10% night.
Yes, 10%.
It was one of the 10%. Sure, yes. Like, this is awesome. This is so cool. Like, look at us roll through. Look at us. How many runs did they score in the 8th? They put up a 9-burger or something in the 8th.
It was 9, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's one of those nights where everything's going your way. I mean, you got an all-star player throwing a ball into the
I'm
bullpen.
just going to say 9 runs, 8 of them earned, because somebody forgot how many outs there were.
And it's like,
that was hilarious.
And it's funny because
I remember Milton Bradley did that.
If you're looking at Seattle, it's like that's their worst loss in franchise history. And like I said, they just came off an uplifting series over the Astros, and when they're trying to get back into this race and stuff. And then this happens, and it's the bottom of the barrel. But you can look at it and go, all right, well, the Brewers it was just their night. It's probably easy to flush this one.
Yeah.
Right? I would, to me, if you're going to lose a game, 22-0 better than,
especially
this is a lot easier than what the White Sox have done the last 2 nights, right?
Exactly.
Especially when you have a position player giving up a lot of those runs.
And so
it wasn't like they threw like their Easton McGee or whatever.
Julio Rodriguez is like, that gaffe will be emblematic of this game. That's what they'll do.
Yes.
But Dan Wilson, having 2 lefties warming up and ready, and then not bringing him in and letting Yelich hit that 3-run homer when the game was still in contest, when it's still in the balance. A 3-0 game goes to 6-0 because he didn't make the switch that he could have made, and just like, I'm going to trust my gut on this. Like, you go back, it's like, which one was worse?
Correct.
Which one set in motion everything else? Like, Julio, the game was already gone.
And how much more dialed in or watching the game is Julio Rodriguez if we have that situation. Drew, and the best part is, as he walks out to the mound, you see him look back at the dugout like it's in either a, why did you not have me do this 3 minutes earlier, or why the hell did I let you convince me to not do this 3 minutes earlier? Because it was all rolling through his head after that Yelich bomb.
It's probably easy to convince yourself Yelich has been struggling. He'll get through it. He'll get out of this, but it didn't work.
Yelich got credit for the sac fly, but for those of you who you don't see that play very often,
right?
But by rule, it's obviously an error. But everybody gets to advance 2 bases.
Yeah. Boy, that's a painful mistake.
So
2 bases.
The Brewers had a guy score on a sac fly. They basically had a 2-run sac fly, which those are pretty rare.
No, only happened to us in the '82 World Series.
Yeah.
So annoying. I mean, that was, and they were down by 19 when that happened, but
it wasn't in doubt.
Yeah,
it wasn't like there was.
I looked at the Seattle account, and I looked at the Mariners site, and I'm trying to find
Did they put the final score up?
Well, yeah, but I don't see any quotes from Rodriguez about his gaffe.
They just avoided.
But there's a quote from Yelich. Yelich, you obviously never want to be the guy that does that, but it's a long game. You're on defense for a while. It was kind of chaos there in the last inning with the lineup turning over and all the action going on. It just happens sometimes you lose track of the outs.
That's very nice.
What a nice guy.
That is very nice.
The Union's going to love that.
Yeah.
Vince, let's get Vince's comments on Facebook really quick. He
What's
had a
up,
question.
Vince?
He said, the game last night was amazing. It just got going like the Energy Bunny. They had no clue. He said, what storm? I think a lot of people figured that there was a storm. They knew, but anyway, his question was, Has there ever been a 22-0 baseball game? The NFL has that thing where they're a first-time scoring
Oh,
compilation.
scoregami? It was not scoregami.
No,
there have been plenty of 22-0 games.
It's happened twice since 1901, the modern era, they consider it. It was the Pirates over the Cubs in 75, and then Indians over the Yankees in 2004. So it's happened twice fairly recently, a.k.a. the last 50 years. But
made MLB Scoregami Online did call it a franchise-agami.
Yeah, it was
because that has never happened. First time in franchise history that his game been played for that score. So only 2 other times. But I do like MLB Scoregami. There's also Pitchagami.
Okay.
And my man breaks down of all the different starting pitcher lines that exit and how many guys in MLB history have had that exact pitching line.
That is impressive.
Just when you think that there are no more markets to corner. Just when you think the internet has interneted enough, you find one more on here that reminds you and to thank everybody that this app is still free.
As soon as they hit 22, I was like all over it, remembering my 92 Brewers hitting 22 runs, getting 22 runs against the Jays.
I think the Brewers put up like 18 or 19 against the Pirates one day when I was working for Fox Sports Wisconsin back in the day and doing sidelines. Like we were at Pittsburgh and PNC. I remember it was like, relatively warm day, but it wasn't scorching.
Yeah.
But man, it was a long ass game.
I was gonna.
Last night's game, 22-0, was 2 hours and 55 minutes. Thank you, pitch clock.
Yeah, amen.
That would have been a 5-hour thumb sucker.
Well, yeah.
August 28th is the day that you're looking for. There.
Okay, thank you. All right, late August.
By the way, the Cubs walking off. They've channeled something, and they've got something in the water from the Bears. That was their 13th walk-off win this season.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of late wins, a lot of PCA
tying 2015
magic
for their most in a season in the last 90 years.
Well, and I sent Armen a video of during the rain delay right around the 8th inning last night. There was a little tarps off Green Bay sucks chant for Cubs and White Sox fans. As much as this series pulls them apart, and apparently you need people to pull them apart in the bleachers. Apparently, one thing can come together, and their disdain for that football team up north. And I'm excited for week 5. Very excited for week 5 for that to potentially be repurposed.
Just find something that's obsessed with you as they are with Green Bay Packers football, those fans.
Well, when you win your 3rd playoff game in 30 years, you got to be excited.
You got to wave the flag a little, right?
You got to be happy and excited.
Got to love it. All right, we're off and running. Last night, let's savor it because it is a 10%er. We're putting that in the 10% category. And by the way, some people may have been oblivious, but Tim hit me on the X, and he's listening. Tim, shout out.
Tim.
Come on, Tim.
Up?
He said, I was there listening to 30,000 phones go off simultaneously. It was crazy.
I was going to say, that's the other thing. Like
that'd be one where the players are like, what the hell?
Yeah, right? Because there's no way you're not hearing that one if you're sitting in the dugout.
I remember I was in a store, grocery store, maybe when there was like a silver alert that everyone got, and it was like, bah! Everyone like jumped up and
now everybody in the stands, one thing, but could you imagine like if the old John Lester days?
Oh yeah.
Back when he's just sitting in the dugout in the clubhouse eting chicken if he wasn't starting. Could you imagine you're just watching the game and then all of a sudden 26 phones go off or all in the clubhouse?
Yeah.
That clubby having to go through that one. That's a different story.
That's definitely wild.
Well, clubby thought he was having just a 3rd inning deucer, and all of a sudden he's like, what the heck?
Well, he had the bucket of chicken, so
no doubt. We're off and running with the Wednesday edition. We're going to take hot takes beginning at 7 o'clock. I mean, I'm sorry, at 6 o'clock. We'll start the hot take hump day machine. But we got to settle in today. Billy's back, and glad to have Billy in for the full show. And we'll get a recap of what Packers practice was like yesterday.
And we've got a Hunter recap as well.
As we move on, we're going to hear Hunter's recap coming up. Lots of fun. We're glad you're hanging out with us, 5 o'clock clubbers. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
shutout margin of victory is 20-0 as Yelich flies out for the second out, and there is run. Oh, number 20, but
he threw it out.
he threw it out. He did.
He threw it into the bullpen.
Into the bullpen. He thought it was the last out.
Not a home run. No, it's an out. But then 2 bases from the field for both of the runners.
I couldn't figure out where the ball was.
Yeah, he thought it was 3 outs.
What a night at the ballpark. Brewers win. Squeak by the Mariners, 22-0.
Good job, Rock. He was on top of it right away.
1-0 in the 5th, and the Brewers go on and empty that can of whoop-ass. Game 2 tonight at the old ballpark. You can get us at 877-794-1973, NicoletLaw.com talking text line.
They
With
tried to
last
do
night-
the exact hard to court, kick the crap out of someone 1-0, and then all of a sudden the runaway happened.
So last night's proceedings with so many people at the old ballpark. What was the attendance? 30,000 something?
I'll find that for you guys.
They are sitting here with 29. Nope, 30. 36.8 is what they're saying.
William beat me.
All right. 36,000.
36.8. The Google scorecard was wrong last night, by the way.
We've been talking about it. 36,870, the announced attendance. So they all had their phones go off. The storms were not far, like the epicenter. We didn't get, I don't think, touchdowns, but there was rotation in the air and lots of trees down, high winds, lots of, nasty weather.
Winds, yeah.
And it came quick. It came out of nowhere.
No ground spin ups is what I kept hearing. But
So
I walked outside and I'm like, wait a second, is that a siren going on?
I didn't get much, and then for 5 minutes it got dark and rained hard, and then it was over.
That was it. And the wind was bad. I was worried about a couple trees,
but trees were down all over the city in different neighborhoods and stuff. So that woman that my Facebook friend who had to huddle in the back room of a Walmart in the employee area by the loading dock or something. I'm just wondering,
got to see it back
what's
there.
the weirdest place you've ever been during a severe weather storm?
That's a good question.
877-794-1973.
I mean, that Admirals, the arena might top it. I mean, that was kind of an unusual spot.
Yeah, arena would be one. There was a run into a kitchen, I believe, when I was like 6. I was very young. We were taking the annual trip up to Eagle River, as the family would always do, one time in July for a week, and aunts and uncles and all the cousins would come up, and the Friday night would generally be at the little cottage main dinner hall for the fish fry. And as it's happening, there are like little paddle boats getting just tossed across the lake. Something was rolling through, and it was some kind of tornado warning. We were for a while standing in the kitchen, and then they ushered us over back to the cottage, went to bed, thought it was all good, all safe in the neighborhood. And then we woke up the next day, and the tree at the cottage next door was just right down on somebody's van. So I had no big time recollection of it. I just remember, as your friend said, that they were giving them snacks and water. I do remember pear-shaped 5-year-old Billy being very happy that I think I got like 2 or 3 cookies while we stood back there.
Just loaded up.
It worked out. It worked out for me at that time.
I mean, I remember being in elementary school. We had to go in the gym, or we had to do the tucking, under the desks. There was one part of our classroom that
probably better for tornadoes than bombs.
Yeah, thankfully we didn't have the bombs.
I don't know that one was going to work very well.
Was that your generation, Drew, or you were still a little young for that? I don't know.
Yeah, we were young for that.
I was going to say, come on, dude.
Well, no, but the Cold War. The Cold War, Billy. The Cold War,
Yeah.
It was cold. All right.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall.
Yeah, tear down that wall. And anyway, we had one of our classrooms had windows in elementary, but there was one. We all had to get into one corner because there wasn't windows. And then I think maybe the locker rooms, and then the girls either had to go in the boys' locker room or the boys had to go in the girls' locker room. And there was a little bit of excitement there when you're a 6th grader, thinking we're going to finally see the girls' locker room.
Oh, boy.
And realized it was a locker room.
It's just like every other locker room there was. Like, it's nothing crazy in there. Like, there was always that weirdness.
It wasn't what you had meant. It didn't live up to the fantasy.
Well, not me,
no
my
showers
friends.
in here.
Not me. I wasn't.
Not you.
I wasn't.
No. Armen totally wasn't.
But yeah, that's probably what the weirdest.
All right, because I want to hear where the weirdest place you could be, because I mean, you're backstage behind. You're with 60 people at a Walmart, and
any good ones from the baseball days and from the reporting days.
Nothing. We never really had anything too bad like that. friend of show Andy in West Bend was at the Euchre movie last night in Menominee Falls. They stopped the movie.
Oh,
They
geez.
sat in darkness for a little bit.
See, not that. Understand why.
Right.
Yeah.
That would tweak me out more.
But wouldn't you be in a safe place? No windows in a movie theater, no?
Yeah.
But it's a high,
high ceiling, a lot of stuff on the walls, I guess.
you're right,
I don't know for sure, but that would tweak me out a little bit more if we're just sitting in darkness and hanging out.
Yeah.
At least just put on like Bluey or something. Let's just calm it down. Let's just throw on some nice calming music or something.
Oh, like seascapes. Well, because I guess the scary part when you're in the dark is you don't know what's happening in terms of did the power go out or is it just the lights off? Because you want to know how if the power goes out, you're like, all right, this is serious. But they're like, well, I just don't know.
I don't know that they went full pitch black. I think they would have turned on the walking in lights.
Yeah.
Oh, like the ones at the bottom.
Yeah.
I guess those could be backup lights.
That's true. Could be just
Come
a
on.
generator. We could still be out of power.
Yeah. I
Jeffrey
don't know.
from Milwaukee on the talking text line. I was at the game last night. It was hilarious when all the phone tornado warnings going off. You could tell how the humidity affected Harrison because I was sweating sitting there. Then the panels opened up and so did the offense. Great night to Ale too.
Yeah, it is. That is a
if you
good
didn't leave
ale
early,
night.
you got problems, man.
Yeah, you wanted to see every single one of those at bats. You wanted to see how El Gary finished it off. But yeah, that's a long
pitch
night.
clock and the 6:40 start made it easier to stay till the end of that because, like I said, it was 2 hours and 55 minutes for a 22-0 blowout.
Yeah, because we had a number of video reviews that we do need to expedite the video.
Yeah,
review.
make those faster. Do it on site. Like
I enjoyed the Contreras one where he is completely. I mean, he's taken the gear off by the time they finished the video review on the throwout at second base. Mike and Racine hit us up as a fat guy. I was watching, just sweating, watching it on television. How hot it was in there. Keep those bats hot though, boys. Go Brewers.
That place can get hot when it's humid outside, and
sweaty. When BA mentions it. That's probably when it's pretty warm. That's probably
he
when
grew
it's
up
pretty
outside
warm.
of Austin. He knows heat.
He knows it. Yeah, he could feel it up there.
Yeah, I think the hottest night, the worst, muggiest night was a torrential rainstorm during the home run derby back in the All-Star home run derby. It was sweating room only. Like it was like you had just plunged in a pool.
And just
everybody
walking
was
out.
just wet, just sitting in there and just stewing and getting just... It was miserable.
And standing up every couple of moments when everybody would know, hey. That's a long night in that place.
From the 715.
History together.
What's the betting line for the Brewers to either win or lose 1-0 tonight after scoring all those runs? That's often how it works. It's nuts, hard to figure out. Score 25, then go a week where you don't score that many.
I love this. This is classic.
Well,
we're not going to score now the rest of the week.
The Brewers are minus 125 tonight, and the over-under is 7. So make your wagers accordingly.
So they're guessing it. Yeah, they're thinking it'll be a small one. Also, I'm
just waiting for my dad to text. They should have saved some runs for tonight.
That's the easy.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
the best
right
one.
away, he's gonna as soon as he sees the score, which I'm assuming he didn't see it yet from last night. He's gonna see it and say they should have scored some runs. They should have saved some runs. That's the favorite dad move.
From
right
the 608. When tornado siren went off in Baraboo, I called my brother in the Dells to let him know it's coming. He told me he was in a safe spot because he was on the crapper. He lives in an apartment with no basement. He was taking care of two things at once, being safe and taking care of business.
Yeah, I guess.
Signaling for the curve during a tornado
safe.
warning.
Probably
I
a
did
safe
think
place.
about it.
Go in the bathroom. You know, some people hide in the tub.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I did think about it because, our basement is not necessarily for sitting right now. It's for storage. So it was going to be us walking around on a bunch of boxes if we went down there. And I was like, where should we go? I'm like, well, the kids like, and we do need to take a bath. It might not be a bad idea. We'll just sit in here. It'll be okay. It should be all right. Hang out here. Now, if I would have just been chilling out on the porcelain throne, might have been even easier for Dad. Calm moment,
you want to be
quiet
efficient.
moment, and signaling for the
get
curve.
something done.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I usually do get my best thinking done there. Like all of the hot takes that I've cooked up for Hot Take Hump Day coming up in about a half hour, almost all of them sitting right there in the Oval Office.
Inspired in the office.
And not the one in Green Bay, folks.
With your constitutional.
No issue with going.
Yeah, with your constitutional, which is, a lot of good thinking gets done there.
So much.
Andy Kunkler on Facebook. There should be
That's
a run rule in baseball. That display by the Mariners was a disgrace to the game. How does Wilson still have a job with those underachievers? Read some more press clippings. Dumper. Boy, Andy firing it hot heat.
Firing it up. Hot heat.
Let's go, Andy.
LA did go from the most talked about guy in ball to what the hell happened to that guy?
There's no
and they're
explanation.
blaming the World Baseball Classic for a non-pitcher to be burned out.
Yeah, that's a reach for me.
Like a reach.
That's too much of a drop off.
To me, he's in the. I mean, we've seen Javi Baez do it. I mean, Javi Baez in 2018 was in the MVP conversation.
Multiple guys have the
and
right.
now, granted, I think his was a couple of year decline, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
but then he was
timing
like the
is
worst
everything.
player in baseball in Detroit.
Timing is everything because my Yelich thing again. I remember talking to Robin Yount. He's like, if you play a long time, you're gonna have years where you just suck for the whole year, where you just never get going and you feel like you're off. And he said, like, you feel like your shoes are on the wrong feet. You just never get going. Yeah, you're gonna have a year like that. And he's like, if you play he played 20 years. He's like, you're going to have that where you suck. And it's okay. Well, maybe Yelich is having that year now. But clearly, he hit a home run last night. Had the sac fly. Does that mean he's fixed? No.
But it sure feels like it might help.
Yeah, I mean,
sure feels like it might help.
But the thing is, like, okay, so Pete Crow Armstrong hits a leadoff homer on Monday night, and then a walk-off homer, and then a leadoff homer on Tuesday. Okay, well, he's feeling it. He's the MVP. What if he has like a Raleigh drop-off next year?
Right.
And his bad year comes the year after he had an unbelievable year.
Oh, yeah. Please, that'd be amazing.
Like regression, market correction.
But you're right, it happens.
The Bears this year, when they let me see what the Bears do and what their record is in one-score games this year.
Well, and let the and just wait for the month of April and May next year after the PCA summer that he's had, the summer of PCA, and all of a sudden it's like 50 degrees at Wrigley, and they're like, why on earth does he not have 20 homers already?
Yeah, what's going on?
What are you doing? He's got 5 bombs. Yeah, because it's 50 degrees and it's frosting. That might have something to do with it.
It is a rather drastic 1-year drop, though.
It's got to be one of the biggest.
Yeah. But in terms of PCA, that'd be nice. I mean, it looks like he's having that Yelich type run from 18.
Definitely.
And then, I mean, this son of a gun is out here signing autographs for kids and taking pictures.
Absolute.
What a
absolute
jerk.
I mean, he's teaching all these kids to go right up to strangers.
Yeah.
I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, no stranger danger being taught.
I even saw him talking to a couple, like chumming it up with these kids.
What a jerk.
Sign autographs?
Hey, when we come back, we're going to hear from another jerk, Hunter Baumgart. All he does is cover the Brewers and live for the baseball season. Hunter Baumgart's recap of the Brewers' victory last night. Historic victory. We'll hear what Hunter has to say about that. And you folks streaming us get to watch it. You'll get to see.
Yeah. You get to see what Hunter looks like. If that's not something to get to YouTube, X, and Facebook, I don't know what is.
And he will splice in some comments from players as well. We'll have Hunter's recap next. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
In late August, the Brewers went to Toronto and found a way for the first-place Blue Jays to take them seriously. In the series opener, the Brewers out-hit the Blue Jays 31-9 and outscored them 22-2.
That ties an American League record. A little number. There's another hit. Another run. Another record. That is the American League record. All time here tonight. 31 hits by one team in one game.
Armen Sarian, once again, rabbit hole Sarian. Not South Beach Sarian, rabbit hole.
Digging right into
Yes,
it.
thank you, Mel Allen, for that
Another great
recap.
night from this weekend baseball. Brewers winning 22-0 last night. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you on this hot take hump day. Get your hot takes ready. Feed them into the NicoletLaw.com talking text line 877-794-1973 or put them on the streaming comments because many folks like to have their little side discussions on the stream, which is spectacular. We're going to talk Packers and practice, and there was go figure. I can't wait for the Cardinals Packers practice because McCarthy, because Matt LaFleur is famously against the training camp fights.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't think it's you got to be better than that. Got to be more disciplined, but they're inevitable in these joint practices. And the Cowboys and Saints went at it.
Oh my goodness,
that was a Royal Rumble.
Bunch of fights.
Yeah, that was
more. It was a Royal Rumble interrupted by some football plays.
Mm-hmm. By a couple of different times that they've made these guys try to play real football.
That was crazy. And what's it going to be like when big brother and baby brother going at it? And I'm sure Mike is of the same ilk. Like, hey, let's not waste it. Let's not get anybody hurt. Let's not,
Yeah, and the
cooler
other
heads prevail.
Yeah, and I mean they don't have any of the Steiner brothers kids on their team, so maybe that would have something to do
Part
with
of
it.
it.
But Drew, because I guess I've come around on both sides of it. Do I love to see the scrap and the physicality and the just backing up your brothers when one guy gets into it, the entire team scraps? 1,000%. I mean, that is absolute rocket fuel for the football guy in me. The other part of it is these games are so precious. It is the shortest season and the longest off season that if you are going to get 17 chances during the year, you cannot allow yourself to get thrown out of any of these games. And we saw it a couple of times how it impacted the Packers with Quay Walker. And, the first time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me for expecting that it wasn't going to happen because of how you train. And I think that they've done a good job of being able to eliminate a decent amount of it. When it's different teams, though, it's just so inevitable. It's just going to happen. And as quickly as Mike LaFleur rips, into Paris Johnson, their former 6th overall pick at offensive tackle, and Baron Sorrell is the one that is scrapping for the Packers, or Brenton Cox Jr., Lucas Van Ness, and everybody else. They're going to hate it in the moment, and then they're all going to watch it back and say, right here, that uppercut is where you got to go. You can't be going here on the overhand. You're not getting any surface area. Underneath, you're going to get an actual chance. They'll break it down. They'll watch plenty of it, definitely in the film room, though.
That's phenomenal. I had a kid shadow me. I was covering the Admirals years ago. The kid came to shadow me, a college kid, one of the sports journalism major. He's sitting by me, and I'm covering, and it was the old Bradley Center, and the hockey press box was halfway up, and right above me was the general manager's suite where Phil Whitliff sat. And the Admirals were the Canucks top affiliate at the time, Vancouver, and Vancouver GM Brian Burke was in town. And the guys asked me all these questions. He's like, well, what do the executives think when guys get on fights during a game? I'm like, oh, you'll probably see that tonight. You'll probably
get to see it.
Lo and behold, a half hour later, there's a fight. And I'm like, look, and Whitliff and Berkey are going, and Whitliff's going, awesome. Switch hands. He's like, you got the jersey. He's like, switch hands. They were
trying to help out, give some coaching in there. Yes.
Let's just say it's not frowned upon. There are some guys whose job it is to fight, and there are guys who are that's their ticket to the National Hockey League.
And the only way you're getting there.
The only way you get there.
That's the instinct takes over. I think that's why so many fans had a tough time with the LaFleur Sorrell thing. I know we talked about it when Sorrell got in trouble for bull rushing in the practice session where he wasn't supposed to. and he got kicked out of practice. And I think there are some fans that want to see the edge from players. Now, I agree. You can't be going after hitting quarterbacks, especially your own guy, when you're not supposed to. So I totally get that. But I think that was that whole dichotomy right there.
Didn't he kick out Nate Hobbs last year, too? Because Nate Hobbs was getting he was submarining guys.
He was going after guys, continually knocking guys to the ground and taking dudes to the ground, which is not a part of the drill.
Again, I would have been okay with that if I saw it more in real games against other teams.
Yeah, and I mean, I do understand it. Like the thing of don't you need to rip into Anthony Belton for giving it up? That will absolutely happen technically. You know, through the teach tape in the film room, and they'll break down every little reason as to why he allowed him to get through. But at the end of the day, what you're not supposed to do is touch the quarterback. What you're not supposed to do in one of these situations is throw a punch. You can scrap through, you can rip and run and push guys to the turf. But when my man Eric McCoy there for the Saints is squaring up and throws the right hook, that's the one that you got to know what you can and can't do. Like, so as much as you don't want to only, you want to have none of the situations, you also want to see how guys are able to escalate and de-escalate, I would assume, right? Like you don't want there to be no tempers flared, but you want to be able to see guys get to that point and then have to go and put it into practice on the next play.
And be smarter than taking on a roided up son of a WWE star.
I was gonna say you watch the Steiners like that. That's the worst spot you could possibly be in. My man hits that German suplex, Drew, like he was training her his whole life with it.
Yeah, find a different guy. Find a long snapper or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we've been yammering too much. Do we have time to hear Hunter's recap?
It looks like it's over 2.5 minutes, so we're gonna have to wait until the top.
We'll
wait. We'll start the top of the hour with
we
it.
will start. We will hold over to the break. That's a tease. Well, it was a 22-0 game. There's a lot to recap.
I was going to say there's a lot of stuff to
let
get
Hunter's
into.
recap breathe a little bit.
Plus, he hasn't gotten a chance to do one in a week, so
That's true.
We have to really enjoy it.
It'll give people a little extra time to focus and to get ready for their hot takes, because Hot Take Hump Day fires up just after 6 o'clock, and you can reach us NicoletLaw.com talking text line 877-794-1973. We're off to another robust start on the stream.
Oh, we are hot.
Thank you, everybody in the 5 o'clock club. You set the tone. You lay the foundation for what is to come. And it's in the bank now. Yesterday we had a huge streaming day. People are talking about this little program of ours.
And it seems like it's taking some, we're getting some notice.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just optimistic, but it seems like some notice in the back here too, as well.
Doubt it.
We like that little bit of run.
Well, you can't build a good foundation without the best bricks, and those best bricks are the 5 o'clock club.
I'm taking no building advice from you, Bob.
Well, wait a minute now. I've been on YouTube.
Yeah, he went to YouTube University. Yep. All right. When we come back, Hunter's recap and some hot takes. We're having some fun. You are in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. In the middle of the fifth inning last night, the Brewers led the Mariners 1-0. Then things got weird.
Hamilton drives one right center. That's got some carry. It is gone. David Hamilton sends one out of here. It's another three-pointer for the Brew Crew. Their second three-run homer.
The great Brian Anderson on the call. That was just the tip of the iceberg. Milwaukee scoring 21 runs from the fifth inning on. The Brewers blanked the Mariners 22-0. Milwaukee tying a franchise record for runs in a game. They also tie a baseball record for most lopsided shutout ever. With the win, the Crew gets back to 30 games over 500. They've also got the best record in all of baseball. Game 2 against the M's is tonight at 6:40. Dustin May pitches against Logan Gilbert. The Cubs, they walk off the White Sox again 4-3. The Brewers lead still 4.5 games. Hour 2 of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake up!
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras.
Take the cameras off the field and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Diller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the board got to do. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Get out now and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, D-hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Cutting and cracking our way through a Wednesday in the good land. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you from headquarters here. It's Hot Take Hump Day. Get them to us, 877-794-1973, into the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line. But first, because we've built it up so much, it's time for Hunter Baumgart IV to recap the Brewers' historic and epic and historically epic 22-0 victory over the Mariners last evening at American Family Field, with storms bearing down on our area. Both the weather and the Brewers exploded. Take it away, Hunter.
Thanks, guys. A record-setting night last night for the Milwaukee Brewers, 22-0. It's the largest margin of victory in a shutout in Major League Baseball since the start of 1888. I mean, wow, that is quite incredible. Also quite incredible, Luis Lara, his first career home run last night. David Hamilton, a 3-run home run. He set a career high with 4 runs driven in. Christian Yelich, a 3-run home run, made it 6-0 instead of 3-0. That was big. And how about Jake Bauers? How about this? He scores the first of the 22 runs in the first inning, tries to slide into home, knocks the ball out of the glove of Cal Raleigh, dives back into home after Yelich pointed that the ball was out. Jake Bauers takes you through that sequence here.
Yeah, I mean, what was going through my mind was I was trying to do the exact same slide that I did in LA 2 days ago. I was a little bit later to home. He kind of worked in front of me right as I was going to try to dive in. And then I don't really remember what happened after that. I just remember Yelly screaming at me to touch home. And then, that was that. I saw the replay. I definitely wasn't trying to hit his glove. I was more trying to protect him and me because I didn't want to barrel through him. I didn't want to break my neck on his chest protector. So it sucks that that's the way it looks on video, but I definitely wasn't trying to knock the ball out of his glove.
And speaking of Jake Bauers, he's been on base 20 straight games. He's hitting .382 over those 20 games. He's been great all year. Christian Yelich talked about how meaningful it has been to have the success of Jake Bauers in the middle of that order.
He's been awesome. Even since spring training, he's been raking since we showed up in Arizona. Just really happy for him. He's been working really hard. And, he's continuing to get better as a player and taking advantage of opportunities and playing time. And he's plays multiple positions for us and hitting the middle of the order. So he's been huge and kind of a huge reason why we've had the success we've had so far this season.
So the Brewers will go for the series win tonight against Seattle. How do you follow up a 22-0 victory? Well, let's see. Maybe they can get 23 tonight. Dustin May on the mound for the Crew. I'll have you for the baseball pregame show 5:30 this evening, 6:40 first pitch. Also of note, Joey Ortiz rolled his ankle at some point in the game. Ortiz wasn't really sure when he did it, but something to monitor. And Shane Drowan came out of the bullpen last night. First relief appearance since May 27th. He is going to actually be starting on Sunday in Williamsport against the Braves. So it looks like he'll probably get Jacob Mizorowski on Friday and Logan Henderson on Saturday, the 2 home games against the Braves this coming weekend. This report brought to you by Import Minded, your trusted choice for exceptional vehicle care on South 27th, just north of 894. Back to you guys.
What an incredible recap
That was a banger
by Hunter
report.
Baumgart.
That's what I'm talking about.
The one thing that I would correct him on. The 2 home games against the Braves. They're all home games. Brewers are home.
I was going to say, technically, they are the home team,
Williamsport.
right? In Williamsport?
Indeed,
Yeah.
but they have to take a trip, and it's going to be planes, trains, and automobiles to get there. But
They don't have direct flights into Williamsport, Pennsylvania?
Not currently.
It's
Not
going to be pretty
currently.
sweet. But the
No, I'm
Friday
looking it
game
up.
is lining up. If you want to get some advanced tickets, Billy, your favorite Tick Pick or StubHub or wherever.
Yes.
Or just Brewers.com. It looks like Friday might be Miz against Chris Sale. Show me a better pitching matchup.
Oh, man.
than that. That's a playoff game 1 matchup right there.
Oh, God. That could start up in NLDS and NLCS, and people would be salivating at networks because Sale is as good as he's been. Like this year, he's pitching as good as he maybe has ever done. And obviously, we know how good Miz is. Also, a 3:10 first pitch on Friday night. So that's a perfect night where you can get home, still put the kids to bed, and
Sweet.
have an excuse to get out of work, maybe a little bit early and go get a clip on in the afternoon. That's a great reason.
Oh, yeah.
You get to pretend you're the Cubs because they have a day game for getaway game against the Mariners on Thursday and then a 3:10 start on Friday.
Yeah, and then a 1:10 first pitch on Saturday.
So that they can travel to Williamsport.
Three
up.
straight day games and then a night
Get
game
ready.
on Sunday.
And then when they play the Cubs at the end of the month at Wrigley, they got 4 straight night games. Go figure.
Yeah, that's one of the funniest quirks in the schedule. The other one here is this is the one time the Brewers will be on Sunday Night Baseball. For us of a certain vintage, that was a thing.
It was a big deal.
That used to be a big deal. I remember one of the first times the Brewers were on Sunday Night Baseball in my time was when they played the Cubs on like an Easter Sunday night. And that would be the only time it felt like they got Sunday Night Baseball. So cool deal.
They might have had a Hideo Nomo start back in the day at County Stadium on Sunday Night Baseball. I don't
Oh, I'll
remember.
look for that on the
It might
internet.
have been.
Let's go.
Might have been, but yeah, not many.
Little John Miller action, maybe.
Not many. But Joey Ortiz rolled his ankle.
He doesn't know when. How do you not remember?
Thank you.
And
Am I the only
you
one?
would think now it's sore. But
Maybe you just don't want to
meanwhile,
talk
like Terang came back last night, much needed. And then Cooper Pratt played for the T-Rats last night and is ready and raring to go and could be back tonight. Cooper Pratt was 1 for 2, and in his in the first inning he scored from second on a base hit. Looks and he said he's fine. He's
It'd be
ready to
nice,
go. Whenever
yeah.
I'm needed, I'm ready to
Dude,
go.
let me
So
know,
he's-
guys. I'm ready to
And he
go.
was
He's
really
ready.
playing before he got hurt. He really playing well. So it'd be nice to get him back, confident, lathered up before
I
September.
mean, it'd be nice just, again, they weathered the storm, but it's hard to make hay and go on a heater when you're playing with Gary Sanchez at first and Andrew Vaughn at third.
That makes it difficult.
That's not ideal.
Yeah, that makes it
your
difficult.
best defensive setup.
But they've won. That's the thing.
Well, that no doubt, but they've
not
also
as much.
They haven't been able to hit any bit of a true stride. It feels like since the All-Star break, and now they're over 500. They've won games, but they haven't hit that run yet. And I think for some of us that wonder if you peak too early, you peak too soon. Was the 30-4 run a little too early a year ago? You can never predict when you get hot. You're never going to stop getting hot or slow yourself down. But I think it feeds into that conversation where they still have not clicked on all cylinders here in the second half. And that's a hopefully reason for optimism that it can finally happen here coming up later.
Well, especially offensively, right? And I think we do remember that last year's stretch, but that's not normal either. I guess you can make the case that this whole year's been their run. I mean, they won 78 games, and we're sitting here on August 19th. So it's been obviously a great year. But, yeah, if they can get one more big streak, I think it just feels like that, too, because the Cubs are still in the rearview mirror, and they played so well, and they've been on a streak that, it doesn't feel like you've been as dominant because you haven't stretched out that lead yet. But that might still happen here. I mean, the Cubs are still finding ways to get, you had the stat earlier, Billy, about the one-run wins, the comeback wins, the walk-offs. They're finding a way to find wins, but who knows if that will run out, though.
Is it
we'll see.
sustainable?
I hope it's not.
It might be for a year, but it doesn't carry over from year to year. That's what I'm saying.
Some YouTube,
the fact that, we were great in close games.
Some YouTube comments.
Yeah, that's a 1 year cycle. That's a personality of a team, and that is a tough thing to be able to replicate year in and year out. What do we got?
Some good mornings from Paul K. I'm here just listening. Paul. Forgot to chime in, and also John Kurzawa. Good morning. I forgot to check in before 6 a.m. I mean, I know you're loyal customers and stuff, but you got to get in get into the club by say. I'm sorry, you can't just slide in and expect to still slide in the middle of the line here. All right.
877-794-1973. Time to fire up the hot take hump day machine. Get us your opinions. Hot take. They can be about food. They can be about movies, pop culture, music. They can definitely be about sports. The Brewers are front of mind right now. It can be Packers takes right now. Billy, you've been chomping at the bit because you were only with us for an hour yesterday. You got some hot takes holstered up. What do you got?
Well, first off, the hot take from Badger night practice yesterday. They practiced last night under the lights at Camp Randall Stadium. Defense looks great. Defense looks real good. Offense improving. Offense still a work in progress. We already knew that was going to be the case. My hot take right out of the gates. And now this is with some windshield time. This is with some thought. This is with a lot of different college football podcasts starting to enter my my ecosphere and piquing more and more of my interest is the fact that I think the Badgers are going 8-4 this year. I now, as difficult as the schedule still is, as they lined up and on 3 Sports yesterday put together a super cool graphic of all the different teams, Drew, that have difficult schedules. The Badgers had the most difficult schedule by most metrics a year ago, with top 10 opponents, top 5 opponents, top 25 opponents at the back end of the year. The most top 25 teams preseason, as the first AP poll came out. Badgers have 4 games against the top 25. And when you look at where those games fall and who they ultimately are against, they are not the big bad wolves that you generally would see. It is not Ohio State. It is not Michigan. It is not Oregon either. It's number 4 Notre Dame to start out the schedule, and very much so as a 20.5-point underdog. That is going to be a tough and a tall task. Weird things happen in week 1 of college football. Just saying. The other one is at Penn State, week number 4, and that closes out the month of September, where you're going to know a decent amount of the Wisconsin Badgers. After week 1, week 4, their first Big Ten game, Penn State, everybody is anointed as one of the best teams in the Big Ten because their schedule is bad. We haven't seen them actually play yet. So I don't know that that's going to be as difficult of a task. The one again at home against USC in the late stages of October, who knows? Roll the ball out and let's see. But I think the Badgers are going to go 8-4, and I think that they're going to win the majority of the games that they're supposed to win.
Let's go.
And potentially shock one more. I also think 8-4 is the magic number.
Magic number in terms of
everything stays the course in 20.
That's what I was going to ask. Okay. You don't mean like for a bowl game. You mean like for fickle existing.
You go 6-6. I think there is definite possibility, and there, like, you got to have.
Yeah.
Sean Eichhorst has a decision to make. He's the new athletic director for a reason, right? At that point, you have now given it to the hands of others to make the decision for you. You make the decision for them going 8-4, and I think the Badgers are going to do it. And I think that they're a surprising football team in a Big Ten that is as top heavy as it has ever been, I believe. And they don't have to play those guys, which makes it very nice. Which makes it very nice to not have a road trip to Indiana in the middle of the schedule, a road trip out to Eugene, Oregon, and then hosting the Ohio State Buckeyes after you get skulled by Iowa. So maybe that's a lot more optimism than people want at this moment at 6:13 in the morning. We're still 2.5 weeks away from Lambeau.
Oh, that's what we want.
But I think the Badgers, especially led by that young defense, going to be much better. Hard to be much worse on offense. I think they were 133 out of 136 in terms of total scoring offense.
Well, if you keep it healthy, if you get a starting quarterback to play for you, that would be a start. Like they haven't been healthy at that position, for a long time. So hopefully that's the first step. And I think you're right, Billy, because I think deep down when there's a new AD involved and your biggest revenue sport like football, eventually a new AD is going to want his guy in there, going to want to make that decision, going to want to make a hire and have a legacy attached to one way or another. It's sort of like, I think when a new GM or head coach comes to the NFL, they want their quarterback that they're going to ride or die with eventually. So I think there is a little bit of, now that there is a new one in there, Fickle's going to have to prove himself more so than he would have maybe with the last guy, because, hey, this guy might be looking to eventually make his hire. So we'll see what happens. But I think, that's a good one, 8-4. That's a good baseline because the question has been for me, what's it going to take for him to be able to continue this?
That's probably not Drew, Blackstone, all 4 burners on high. That might be medium low, but flipping your record from 4-8 to 8-4 is
pretty good.
Would be something that they desperately need with the kind of investment they made.
If you can keep the quarterback ambulatory, that's job one.
Number
they
one.
haven't been able to accomplish that.
Yeah.
They got a couple of experienced linebackers that, experienced, but promising and,
and young and
good,
explosive and good.
Explosive
yes.
and stars. And I think it's funny because I think the first public interview, the day he committed, Darion Dupree was in our trailer at the Lake House at Summerfest.
Yes.
Because he was an
Iron Jock
guy.
Yes.
Paulie Hansen brought him in, and he was in with Braylon. Because Braylon helped kind of
usher him through, helped him bring him in here.
Talked to Braylon and Darion Dupree, and I've been waiting for Darion Dupree to kind of bust out, and this might be the year.
Yeah, he had the one big run. I want to say it was the Illinois game that really catapulted and opened up the floodgates. So
one of the few highlights of last season.
Thank you.
Run in that game.
Yes, I think when you can count how many touchdowns they had on your hands and toes.
Oh yeah,
you can remember them a lot cleaner, and they got a lot more talent in that running back room, and I think that's where they're actually going to be able to establish, because they have their number one quarterback, Drew, runs the football. Colton Joseph had 2,000 passing yards and 1,000 rushing yards a year ago.
Yeah,
so
big sturdy.
That's what you need. And congratulations to Billy Edwards. He just won the North Carolina quarterback job. That should be fun.
About that.
That should be fun. Billy Edwards Jr. could be the final quarterback to start for Bill Belichick in his coaching career. Oh, my goodness.
He won it, huh?
He won the quarterback competition, I believe, in his 7th or 8th year of college football.
Oh, my. Remember, we had him at Buffalo Wild Wings hanging out. Remember, football feasting with us?
Oh, he's such an engaging cat. I was a big fan of Billy Edwards Jr., the guy, and tough that he was never able to play. That's tough.
It's just hard to keep track, but who is what's the depth chart behind Colton Joseph? Danny O'Neal still on the roster? Still around?
Danny O'Neal is a nut, but they do have Deuce Adams, who is probably the one that's drawing the most attention, and he's got some starting experience under his belt as well. Played quite a bit a year ago, last 2 years, but a lot last year with Louisville. Comes over, and people think that he's like definitely a 1B. The exciting one is the true freshman Ryan Hopkins coming in from Newport Beach, California. He is from the same area that Joseph is. Danny O'Neal is on the roster, but pushed all the way down. All the way down there is Carter Smith. You not seeing a ton or hearing a lot about Carter Smith. He was the one that ultimately started a couple of games, the ones that they won a year ago. But they had like the worst passing offense in college football a year ago. So hard to say that any of those guys would give themselves immediately a chance. But Deuce Adams, I think, would instantly be the first one in. And the one that people are really excited about is Hopkins. So it's definitely more of, as Fickle has said, a room instead of one guy. And if anything goes wrong, all hell is going to break.
Hot take also, if your quarterback prospect is from Southern California, you got a good chance. I mean, it seems like all those guys are from all the.
I believe he played at Modern Day, too.
There you go. I didn't even have to say it. I mean, that's even Jordan Love was from Bakersfield. I mean, that's Central Valley, but it's still Southern Cal. I mean, that just seems where the best prospects come from if it's not the Deep South, whatever. So, once upon a time, it was that Pennsylvania area, that Pittsburgh kind of were like the Marinos and the Bradshaw. But it's like, or maybe not Bradshaw, but a lot of the good prospects came from there. But it just seems like it. And speaking of guys that are at new schools, AJ Storr committed to his 9th school in 9 years. So congrats to AJ Storr, who now committed to UNLV. So if you go through his school history in high school and college, AJ Storr is so I'll give you a hot take here. It's really tough work for the admissions director, trying to figure out the credits that are transferring through and the classes and what credits. I mean, that is a lot of legwork to go through to figure out what credits are going to translate over. So
yeah, lots.
Yeah,
lots. All right, keep them coming. Hot takes 877-794-1973. Hot take. I was underwhelmed when the Cowboys signed Von Miller because he's an old dude. And,
Yeah.
But I did chuckle that he wants to wear jersey number 40 and he wants Hunter Lupke to give it up. And he offered him a lifetime supply of chicken.
Oh, I'm taking that.
What a great call.
I think that's hilarious.
Like ordering fried chicken or if you need chicken breast grilled.
A lifetime supply of chicken.
Like rotisseries.
Von Miller is like a very successful farmer rancher, I believe. Yeah, like I believe he's got like
that's what I'm talking about.
well-oiled machine in that way.
So
he's just like, I'll give you some chickens from my farms anytime.
Von Miller wore 58 during his time with the Denver Broncos. And then he wore number 40 for the Rams and Bills. He wore number 40 in college at A&M. And he doesn't want to wear 58 in Dallas because that was his number with the Broncos. And he doesn't want to wear 94 because it's associated with DeMarcus Ware.
Well, very true.
Hot take. Is he the first edge to ever request a number in the 40s?
Very much might be. Yeah, very much might be, Armen. Nobody wants that.
1 year deal, $7.5 million. And the Cowboys will still maintain that they got the best out of the Micah Parsons trade. And yet they've now used a draft pick, a trade, and a free agent signing to kind of shore up their pass rush.
Yeah, and I mean, they have gotten a bunch of guys that are very good players, right? Quentin Williams is an extremely accomplished player.
Yeah.
Good, really good player.
Sean Gary?
Maybe. Yeah, good
Maybe.
player at times, maybe. And Kenny Clark was a very, very good player. I think he played well for them a year ago. We'll see how it ultimately pans out. But like Devin Ezeraku, he's in the midst of the fighting yesterday. He was one of the guys that they've brought in. They have now, as a sum of their parts, Drew, brought in like 6 guys to try to make up for it. And Jerry, just wanted you to know, I still might have one thing on my sleeve. We still might have some. We still
might not be done.
Still might be cooking something up. We still might not be done. Because people are still trying to make up trades for Max Crosby. People are still trying to trade him off of the Raiders. So like there might still be one splash move in the NFL before all is done. But Von Miller, tell me where you saw his 8 sacks a year ago.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, what?
Like blink of an eye, I had no clue he had 8 sacks.
Most people had no clue he's in the league.
Did want to let everyone know, though, that he had to decide between the Commanders and the Seahawks a year ago.
Okay.
Wow. And he chose the Commanders because he thought they had a better chance to win the Super Bowl.
Wow. Tough.
That's a tough scene.
So don't let him handle your future, your psychic readings.
But you might want him to help with your chicken pasture Greener Pastures Chicken, a 35-acre regenerative, organic, and pasture-raised chicken farm in Elgin, Texas.
I mean, that's definitely a deal you take if you're Hunter, because if they're going to process it and send it over, I mean, you're getting a lifetime supply of chicken, which means I'm soaking you for fresh poultry forever.
This says now I don't know. Are you guys AI overview people? Like when you Google something, are you reading the AI overview?
It just comes up.
I'm holstering that up for a hot take. I'll do that next.
Okay, good. Because this one says he took a poultry class to boost his GPA in college, but grew a passion and planned it as a backup career.
I believe it. That
we're going to get to that.
That's cool. He could have. Yeah.
Poultry class?
You just reminded me of my non-sports top hot take today.
Oh, I'm excited.
We'll get to that. Yes. We'll get to that. We want your hot takes. 877-794-1973. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Rolling through a Wednesday in the good land. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen. Halftime has arrived. We welcome our pal Scott Dolphin from the country station down the hall. Billy is adjusting our camera so we can see Dolph. Good morning, Dolph.
Hi, Drew. Yeah, he's not what? So he's like floor director,
yes,
producer,
floor director,
chief engineer.
That's right.
He's my assistant.
A man of all, a jack of all trades.
See, Billy, you're putting me on camera, but you're not yourself.
No, I got a backup.
He's got a backup plan with his laptop.
I've got
something with that camera is not right. And
what it is, Armen, if you need me to say it out loud, is that somebody took it to Green Bay yesterday to do training camp live with. and somebody didn't plug it in overnight.
Install it.
So somebody had it die. So if you'd like somebody to tell you who it was, hand raised in air. Yes, I did it. I apologize.
I wasn't trying to do
Sorry.
That. I wasn't trying to
That
do
better?
that.
Shame.
No, because
All
this
right.
morning it was on, so that's why I was confused. Okay.
All right. Before I
Let's
dive
round it
into
better.
that hot take that I've holstered up,
I can't wait.
Dolph wants to throw a bouquet to Armen.
Hey, okay. So yesterday we're taking a tour around, Shannon and myself, my partner. We're taking a tour of Girl Scouts around the troop from Franklin, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And they're in with some of their parents. And one of the first stops we made, we're here to the Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin Megaplex studio. And Armen at the time is producing your training camp coverage, Billy, in Green Bay. And one of the families said, hey, would it be possible to get a picture with Armen? I'm like, all right. So Hunter, God bless Hunter, was in here giving a talk to the kids about sports talk radio. Hunter immediately bolted in and said, yeah, Armen has agreed that he'll do the photo.
have agreed. Yeah,
That's amazing.
I made her wait for 20 minutes, but I'm just kidding. I said, you can get a picture, slide me some Thin Mints. I mean, if you're a girl, if you're part of the Girl Scouts, you gotta have boxes of cookies
you
ready.
free Thin Mints?
I would have paid a discounted rate.
Listen, we just took FCC training.
Yeah, you can't
for
take
payola,
freebies.
plugola, cookieola, whatever it's
I want to
called.
make
You
it
guys
clear.
did that?
Yeah, you got to do that, Billy. Yeah.
I got 3 emails yesterday about doing it.
Yes,
I was like, I was hoping I'd have some friends in here that still forgot to do it.
Well, one of them I didn't fit because one of them the site's not working right for me. But the point is, I want the FCC to know I didn't take any freebies. All right,
No free
we
cookies.
took a great picture and it was a great time. She was great. She said she liked radio.
I didn't take any cookies, but that $100 that she slid you in the McDonald's bag.
Yeah, right. In the McDonald's bag. Oh man.
Yes.
She said she was interested in country music radio. I said, well, you must have been excited to hang out with the great Hall of Famer Scott Dolphin.
Clearly, she was interested in sports too because she said we didn't say that's Armen. She said, "Can we get a picture with Armen?"
Yeah. Well, listen, I don't know. I'm skeptical. I still think somewhere her dad's at home saying, "Did you get that picture I was asking you about?" You know.
Well,
Like,
either way, you know what? She
I'm
remembered
happy
the
about it.
name,
No, it
and
was
for all
great.
the folks that would say Armen Sarian would be an easily misspelled or forgotten name when they may have told you to change it to, I don't know, something called John Deere when he came into broadcasting.
Right.
You're all good.
Armen, did you ever consider an on-air name?
Never, and I think it's because I got into radio during a time when that was sort of in the past already.
Okay, got it.
But I bet if I entered the radio business like years earlier, they would have said something about it, right? But
yeah, probably.
no one ever thought
you'd
it
have
would
Rick
matter.
Stilts real quick.
I think no one ever thought it would matter anyway. Like this kid's like, let's see, why do we need to worry about his name? He's gonna be a producer.
Yeah,
or
he's a
something.
producer.
Yeah. So no, and I think Armen's an easy enough name to say.
It is.
Sorry, and it's not that hard, but mostly it's Armen. So no one ever said, hey, did you have to get a radio name or do you have to do? I know that was a
That's
thing
true.
once upon a time. People would always get called in the office and say, we're going to come up with a new name.
Is Armen the most common name in Armenian?
I don't know if
culture?
it's the most common, but it's super
Yeah.
common. It's very.
I remember
it's
Armen
like Micah Johnson.
Katayan.
Yeah. Armen Katayan, yeah.
One year I went to Armenian summer camp every year. One year there were 4 Armenesses in the same session. And it's a weird experience because the whole rest of the year, 50 weeks out of the year,
There's no other Armen.
there's no other Armen. So when they yell, Armen, come get your sandwich, I know I'm ready to eat. But when I'm at summer camp and it's Armen and the girls are yelling Armen, I'm getting excited. And I'm like, oh, she means
But
that
it's
guy.
not for you.
It's the other
It's not for
Armen.
you.
So Armen is the John.
It's
of
super
Armenia.
common, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like John
All
or
right.
Mike or something like that.
That's great.
There's a lot of Armens always hanging around.
Okay.
It's spelled differently sometimes, but the name is the same.
Take a knee, boys. This is where Dolph and I got to drop some knowledge on you guys
All right, I'm
because
ready.
Billy just said something about Google and it's on my list of things. For Hot Take Hump Day, we have our hot takes. And Dolph and I, we can tell you how a lot of stuff was better back in the day. Summerfest was better back in the day when it was, when you could buy a round of beers for $10.
Yeah.
And when you could get in for $6.
Oh, that was the winner.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Amen.
So things were better back in the day. Cable TV when it came out was awesome, and now we have all these splintered streaming services, and it just sucks now. It's a pain in the ass. You watch a game on Peacock, got to sign, go to another app to watch a different game,
yeah,
and passwords. All that sucks. There's something now that is starting to suck, and it sucked for the last 4 or 5 months, and it's never going to be the same. And that is Google. Google became search and it became synonymous like Kleenex. Google, you want to search something? Google.
Fire it up.
It's no longer search. They throw you into their AI and they want to keep you in their sphere. And they're not throwing you links anymore to anything. 68% of searches on Google now don't lead to external links. They want to keep you in their house with their crappy Gemini AI that they're trying to build.
Yep.
Yeah.
And even the search engines that have been like one of the best things of the internet now sucks. And it's going to suck worse, and it's going to continue to suck.
Is it time to go back to Yahoo as our main search engine?
Ask
Like
Jeeves.
2004.
Bring back
Ask
Jeeves.
Jeeves. Yeah, with the dog,
Let's
right?
go.
Jeeves was awesome.
Yeah.
Lycos site.
Lycos.
Those are all good ones.
Yahoo,
right?
but Google now sucks because they give you like AI overviews instead
Yeah,
of
and
answers.
then links into the answer as to where you go, and you
And-
click on the story, and then you get to see where the car and driver
So-
has of which of the cars I need.
Even that's hard to find though, and it used to be like it's
Oh,
it's
wow.
going to kill like local businesses, and so maybe it'll help our business, radio advertising, because it's going to kill local business because you Google like, hey, flowers near me, and you're not getting like a list of flower stores anymore. You're getting like just tips on how to grow your own flowers.
Yeah, and it's the first thing you see when you Google something, and then you have to look up top to see, okay, there's AI, and then there's the general one, and then there's videos, photos, and everything else.
And so
I'm on the complete opposite side. I think it's the craziest, most helpful thing that I've ever seen.
News
It made
stories.
everything way easier and a lot cleaner and a lot more streamlined if I need to find 3 different ways of figuring out which better, the EXL or the Touring or the EXL or the Sport on this Honda Odyssey. I don't know. The compare and contrast has made it a far easier experience with
Well,
AI.
I think one of the issues, tell me if I'm wrong, is the AI will search for conversation about the topic, and a lot of that comes from like Reddit or a message board,
Yeah.
and it's just people's opinion. So it's not necessarily. I will give it credit though. I just searched why does Google search suck now, and the AI overview said Google search feels worse because profit and automated features now take priority over direct
They'll
click.
let you know,
at least
yeah.
it's honest.
At
Let
least
you
they're
know
honest
about it.
Yeah.
So there are businesses that like, local mom and pop stores and stuff that relied on that, or like, what should I do in Milwaukee for the weekend? I'm traveling or something. And now they're just feeding you crap you're not getting. And magazines and blogs and Condé Nast are like, they're rethinking all these people that have been spending money with ad buys with them. They're not getting anything anymore because and Google, who owns YouTube?
Google. Yeah.
So they throw in you to YouTube videos that they want to keep you in their sphere, and you're not getting. There might be a better video or something like more germane to your search.
But aren't we
and you're
all
not throwing it?
Haven't we been brand loyal with a lot of stuff? I mean, how many different things did you look at? There's probably a lot better polo shirts or quarter zips, but if I'm a Nike guy, I'm going into the Nike one. I'm a Google guy. I have YouTube TV. I got YouTube Premium. I use Google Chrome all the time. I like my sphere pretty cool.
Yeah. Where else would you go? I mean, Bing, right?
No, I think we're all locked into that in that sense.
Everybody is. They've had
the
the monopoly, but they're changing it, and like you have to get you're not getting the tabs, and you're not getting the information that you were to make a decision. They're making it for you and steering you.
They're
towards
also
things.
giving you a lot of ideas as to where to find your answers.
Well, it's interesting. There's 2 approaches here. I mean, I get your point, Drew, and I get Billy's got the approach where it actually makes it easier in some ways. My issue is it as accurate as it used to be?
I don't believe
that's
so.
the concern I'd have. I do like that it would make certain things easier and quicker.
I think we're also giving ourselves a lot of credit that we are master searchers of information and that we are all knowing exactly where to be able to find and dig for all this information if they weren't streamlining it.
You had to, when you were searching the internet back in the day, you had to make sure you got exactly what you wanted.
So now it was search engine optimization. Now it's answer engine optimization. It's changing things because it used to be if you were the first click in Google, like if you Googled your name or if you Googled like something, like if I want chicken in Milwaukee, and it was the first click was golden chicken or champion chicken or something like that. Now it used to be like a 27% click-through rate. Now it's down to like 9 or 10%.
So what?
Because they're forcing things down, so businesses are getting hosed.
So you don't see that stuff at the top.
No.
Well, I mean,
it's also a pretty easy way to turn off the AI suggestions on your Google account. Which again, if you want to do it, you can. Otherwise, I think it's really easy and helpful.
Do you ever Google yourself? And if so, is it accurate?
I don't have enough information about me that's all that cool. I'm like, there's just nothing interesting on there for me.
One thing with the AI, it's very flattering. No matter what you put in there, it's going to a lot of
Give
times
you
it's
some
putting
good
a positive spin on everything. Yeah.
Well, I think
Glazing,
it's interesting what
definitely.
the auto fill-ins are when you Google your name.
I worked on Milwaukee, and they relied a lot on traffic coming from Google searches and stuff. And now that's drying up, right? Because like 68% of Google searches now don't lead to an external link. They just like, it's just there and like, okay. And it's like I said, it's what they decide. You want one company deciding what you see, or should you have like
but they do also sell ad revenue as to where you can boost up into the spot as to where you would go into their algorithm. You can
but
join
now
in.
people they're getting away from that now. That's what I'm saying. Is like they're not getting bang for the buck. So those advertisers are going to start looking for somewhere else to go. Because
well, then I think this is a
the
good thing. Then I don't know why are we upset about it? Then that should be a good thing to be able to find other ways of going about it. I don't know. I think it's a lot easier to be able to streamline stuff, but I also don't have 4 hours to look through all the different links to make sure that I'm getting into every single nook and cranny.
I don't know that you have to trust but verify, because a lot of the AI crap they throw at you is wrong.
I saw Andrew Jones on a podcast upset that AI said he didn't have homers off Mariano. And he goes, I can prove it now. So you do have to do
wrong.
that. You have to do that.
And so that's another step, because you can't really trust the Gemini recap because it's pulling from stuff, and it might be pulling from a Reddit thread. That's wrong.
Just always be, I would say, just be aware.
I thought you could believe everything on the internet.
Only Wikipedia.
You could always believe everything on the internet. Now everything on the internet's not real.
Let me see this.
What the heck?
This is why I donate $3 a year to Wikipedia. That's
you
my
do
only
that?
reliable source. I do. I give it every Christmas. I give it $3.
You know, I've considered that. I haven't done it, but I have considered doing that because I do love Wikipedia.
I love it. I mean, I know it's not 99.9% accurate, but it's
pretty much.
It's my go-to for music, especially.
It's more reliable than regular encyclopedias now.
Nothing was more frustrating though when the teacher would tell you, hey, Wikipedia is not a source.
You can't use
I
that.
know.
Come on,
you got to go find the encyclopedia. Like, come on, lady.
My wife's an educator. We go round and back about that to this day.
Is Bill Schmidt a good guy off the air? I'm going to AI this.
Oh,
definitely not.
Good one.
Definitely
Let us
not.
know what it says, Armen.
I just reading a story here that said now back in the day, again, Google is offering all or nothing. If you want to show up in search results, you have to let the company then scrape your content to feed its AI. And some companies are like, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to, because then they're throwing you into the mix and you're not getting credit or clicks for your proprietary content.
I never thought I would see the day that Google will run its course, and it's certainly not at this point, but I guess everything does eventually.
Everything does.
And if you alienate enough people, I mean, I guess that's probably what's going to happen.
Somebody will start to go back to Ask Jeeves. You know what else is coming back?
I'll be you guys in the hockey world. I'll believe that when I see it.
Yeah.
I'll believe that when I see it.
I got on the ground floor at Yahoo back in the day, and that stock went up and split about like 8 times. And then of course, like everything I do, I sat on it too long, and then the bottom fell out.
Good for you, money bags.
The generation behind you, Billy, you're going to have to realize this. There's a generation behind you. The generation behind you does not like AI. They don't want data centers. They don't like it. You dig it.
Back to analog.
You know what's making a comeback now? iPods, like the non-connected music
vinyl.
Where? I have not seen one. I really would love to know.
You got to read some tech sites because it's starting to come back.
I've got a couple of those.
You want to get an iPod shuffle and I'll be cool again.
Shuffle, exactly.
You were gone. This is just like the Nike debate we had
yesterday. The non-connected.
Drew.
Oh yeah, we were talking about Nike being almost dead as a brand. Their market cap's down to 80%. They're not really cool anymore.
Yeah, nobody's wearing Nike stuff.
That's why I said
nobody's wearing Nike
everyone
stuff.
Still wears Nike, so I don't know what to say.
Listen, I saw a lot of it at the British Open worn by players, and that's ironic because they failed at golf. They don't make golf equipment anymore, but they still make golf gear that you can wear.
I got to read this. All right. AI says, yes, Billy Schmidt has a highly positive reputation off the air and is widely regarded as a genuine, charismatic, and family-oriented man by his colleagues and listeners.
Is that from BillSchmidt.com?
Whoa. I don't know. It's from, I don't know. See, that's the thing. You got to source it. So it is.
Yeah. And I guess that's Drew's point right there.
There we go.
All right. Hey, you got to like that, Billy.
See, you just say nice things about it. They'll put it into their algorithm. And then when somebody searches your name, they'll say nice things about you. I like it. That works out pretty well for me.
And then a lot of way you're right. I mean, that's and then Drew, that's your point, right? You can just kind of funnel it the way you want now.
Pretty much.
Hey, all right, everybody, start. All right, everybody, start filling Reddit threads with how great the Huddle is. then everyone will Google it and be like, "This."
Then we're locked in.
Yeah, that'll help. That will definitely help. Hey, Dolph,
maintain strong professional relationships with longtime co-hosts like Armen, Sarn, and Trolls.
Yeah, exactly. Dolph, did you have FOMO last night not being at the Brewers 22-0 victory?
I did not have FOMO. I actually went to bed after Yelly hit the home run. I thought this thing's in the
can.
Yeah, it was 8:45 and I was tired. I was quite surprised, obviously. It was funny to see some of the numbers popped out by MLB. What was the one? The only worst shutout in Major League history was in 1878. It was who was it? The Indianapolis
Cleveland Spiders, maybe, or the Indianapolis Buffaloes, something. It was a weird name,
but it was 24-0.
Yeah,
I'm really surprised by that. All the baseball games, thousands and thousands and thousands. That's the worst one ever.
How many during that game did they have to wear if somebody was pimping a home run when you were up at 18-0?
Oh, yeah.
Did you imagine the unwritten rule conversation in that game?
Guys
Whoa.
running each other over with their horse in the parking lot.
And if you're Luis Lara, do you really brag about your home run? Yes. Because
No,
it
but
was
you
hit off
count
a
it.
position
You
guy.
might not brag, but you count it. Okay, you count that one.
So 1885, the Giants 24-0, and 1887, Philadelphia Quakers
That's the one.
24-0.
Over the Indianapolis, what were they?
Yeah.
Well, I had the Quakers money line in 87.
Man.
I thought that was a great logo.
Had to be awesome.
Had to be a good one.
The logo,
Yes.
white or gray, like that's the logo. They just had plain clothes, suits on, right? It's amazing what we've done in this society. Like this is before the telephone, wasn't it? And then we were playing
Oh,
baseball.
yeah.
So cool.
Well, as James Earl Jones said in Drew's favorite movie, Field of Dreams.
Yes.
Baseball.
Baseball.
Well, no, I mean, it depends who you ask because, the Savannah Bananas are ruining all that.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Google Card was wrong last night. If you woke up and saw the little thing on top
That's
of your
tough
phone,
scene.
I was a little nervous. I was like, the Brewers are down 1-0 because I'd missed the first couple innings and it was wrong. The Brewers are actually up.
Yeah, Jake Bowers with the grittiest play of the night, bashing into the big dumper and knocking the ball loose on that first run.
Yeah, that set the tone.
It did. How about that dude, by the way, this year?
Oh,
Just continues to. He's been kind of a journeyman. He played for the Mariners at one point, right? And the Yankees and the Indians.
We were one of
got
our
a great time to have a career year.
Yeah.
One of our topics yesterday was who's the Brewers MVP? Because by WAR it's Terang and then Miz, but by vibes and eye test it's Bowers.
I was going to say
Bowers.
Yeah, hard to not give it to Bowers with this one. But damn, every time Miz comes on, he's
I
done.
know.
If anybody's going to win the pitcher of the year and the MVP, it's hard not to give it to him.
We go back to that, he pitches once a week argument,
Exactly.
Amen.
Good stuff. Dolph, thanks for popping in.
fellas.
Appreciate it. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen bringing it to you. Hot Take Hump Day. Get them to us. 877-794-1973. Time for a little Who's Hot, Who's Not. Brought to us by Donovan Jorgensen, Heating and Cooling.
How about Braxton Ashcraft? He's becoming a mainstay in the hot category, Drew.
He's the new Paul Skeens.
He had a number that is Optima Stats put up and compared him to Greg Maddux, that they're like the only two guys. Here it is. Last two starts for Braxton Ashcraft, 9 innings, 85 pitches. Last night, as he shut the door and the Pirates beat the Tigers 4-1, he went 8 innings, give up 5 hits, walked none, 1 lone run on 80 pitches. So over those 165 pitches for his last 17 innings, he's the first pitcher to toss at least 8 innings, averaging 10 or fewer pitches per inning in back-to-back starts since the man that coined the term, Greg Maddux, in 2000. You start looking through Greg Maddox's numbers. My God. I mean, like there's certain people that you kind of forget about, of just how dominant, how good they were in an era where everything was, let's hit as many home runs as possible. Let's strike everybody out. People would love to understand how dominant and good Greg Maddux is. It's almost like when you show somebody the numbers that Larry Bird put up and being like, if we could put the Larry Bird highlights and you just put the caption of Larry Bird was a problem.
Yeah.
Think about what Larry Bird would do with 10 3-point opportunities a game. you plant them into different games, the holes in guys' swings. Man, Greg Maddux would be cooking in today's game. Sadly, the Cubs stay hot. They won again back-to-back. Alex Bregman had the walk-off hit. He told Taylor McGregor after the game, what do you do during an hour-and-a-half rain delay as you're coming back? He said, honestly, I went in and ate pizza and drank Dr. Pepper. If that's the secret sauce,
that's what
I think we all can play the majors.
Wow, I'm ready to go, I guess.
I'm ready to go.
Who's not hot? The Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, the Seattle Mariners. And Julio Rodriguez, tough night. Even though Murph said, I was playing catch with my kid at the time, I would have thrown the ball into the stand.
Absolutely. That's Who's Hot, Who's Not, brought to us by Donovan Jorgensen. Check him out, DonovanJorgensen.com, employee-owned for 40 years. We will be back with another hour of The Huddle. We're going to welcome the 7 o'clock Clubbers next. You're in The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
I'm Doug Russell. Well, that was fun.
Uh-oh. Is this number one? Lara deep to left. And it is number one in the big leagues for Luis Lara. Another 3-run home run, the third of the game. And Lara finally has a major league homer on the board.
BA on the call on Brewers television. This one just got silly late. Milwaukee clobbering Seattle 22-0 at American Family Field. The Brewers scoring all but one of their runs in the final 4 innings of this one. In doing so, the Brewers tie a franchise record for runs in a game. They also tie a baseball record for most runs scored in a shutout. With the win, the Crew gets back to 30 games over 500. They also have the best record in all of baseball. Game 2 against the Mariners is tonight at 6:40. Dustin May will pitch against Logan Gilbert. And the Packers have a close to the public practice today ahead of Friday night's preseason tilt at Denver. The final hour of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, be alert for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 hit. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to do. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? Hey, 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Get our guys after you and make the play.
Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag. Be here and see puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
Zip. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Rolling through a Wednesday in the good land. Drew, Billy, and Armen bring it to you. The Huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 Milwaukee, 1070 Madison, everywhere on the iHeart app, streaming live, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Make room, 5 o'clock clubbers, early risers, insomniacs, and sociopaths, and 6 o'clock clubbers. The 7 o'clock wake up is joining us now for Hot Take Hump Day. 877-794-1973 to the NicolayLaw.com talk and text line.
Can I fire in one of these hot takes here, guys, as we're watching and getting a little bit into the joint practices and hearing more and more out of these rookies dialed in on Packers camp? Talks more about that.
Start us up, William.
Armen's boy, Fernando Mendoza.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm going to be done listening to every interview that Fernando Mendoza ever does.
Well, after a while, it does become a little
10
bit
of the most
like,
boring athletes to come out in the last 10 years.
Oh my God. He was on the
was boring the right word or just like prepared, polished? Because it's like listen to Ryan
trying to be Ryan Braun while very smart, right? Like, because he is a very you can tell the dude is very, very intelligent, knows a lot of different things, but he is so hell-bent on making sure that he does not aggravate, say anything wrong, anything possible. Everything is fantastic. This is a great learning experience. It's a beautiful time. Yeah. A great opportunity. You know, he's a great leader of men and a great guy. Like, he's got like 15 cliches that he just fires out, and he's going to the Tom Brady school of interviews. So he already, Drew, you're right, came in as maybe the boringest, most difficult guy to get a soundbite out of anywhere. Now he gets doubled up with Tom Brady there in Las Vegas and Kirk Cousins, who now apparently shows a lot of personality and fun.
It's like a petri dish.
We're going to have to deal with this for 15 years of my guy saying everybody's a fantastic opportunity. Yesterday, after the joint practice they had, that's just a great learning experience and also opportunity. And they got a couple of really good leaders on men over there. And it's like, dude, you can just take a deep breath and talk normal for a couple of minutes.
See, you got to realize when I fell in love with Fernando Mendoza, he was like
in love with Fernando.
Yeah,
Yes.
he was at Cal, and they had just gone 6-5 because they beat Stanford, and he was still sort of anonymous. So I think he wasn't necessarily as worried about being as polished because the stage wasn't as big, and they caught him right after that comeback win, and he was super emotional and crying and talking about how it was the greatest moment of his life. He'll never forget going 98 yards with his boys and like all that stuff. And I was like totally enamored and enchanted by it. I was like, this is my guy. And I fell in love with it because that was super authentic and organic, and I'm not that he's being fake now, but he's a lot more, I guess, aware and concerned about sounding like these. Yeah. Like you said, Billy, super polished, all the things, in the right order and everything like that. And it does make for a little more boring, but you got to realize when he was anonymous for a while at Cal in a way, like, relatively anonymous. And it was different, but now I know what you're saying. First pick and everything. It is kind of, it's hard to listen to the cliche machine.
He was
get fired up every day.
He sat down with the Bussin' with the Boys guys. They're doing a little camp tour and going around to a bunch of different places. They had the 4 quarterbacks there in Las Vegas, Drew, and they're interviewing all 4 of them. And Kirk Cousins looks like just a disappointed dad as he's trying to pull out all the stories, right? Where you got the one kid that you're excited to tell all your friends about, and listen, John just had a great day. Made National Honor Society. Tell him about that test that you just got an A on, right? And then you go and tell the stories. Kirk is just sitting in the corner, just like, all right, are you going to tell the story or am I going to have to? Yeah, he ended up taking a 50% discount to go to Indiana. He was going to go to Georgia, and he called Kirby Smart, but he didn't answer. And you want to tell it now? Okay, I'll tell. But no, Kirby Smart's a really, really good coach. He's a really nice guy, a great program. And Gunnar Stockton would have been a very, very difficult guy, and it would have been hard, and I probably wouldn't have been able to start right out of the gate. Brother.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath. You're okay. Yeah, I took a discount to play at Indiana, and now I'm the greatest thing that's ever come out of Bloomington, Indiana on the football side. Congratulations, and now I'm Teflon. Just embrace it and celebrate yourself a little bit, kid. Loosen them shoulders.
Maybe one day he'll get mad at somebody, and that'll be fun to watch. Like if he actually gets mad.
He did say his mom was the one that may have made that decision for him. He said he picked up the phone and dialed and was on the phone ready to call Kirby Smart. Didn't pick up on the first couple of rings. He said my mom was just staring daggers at me, so I quickly hung up the phone, smacked the microphone, woke up the next morning, and went to Indiana.
So that bus actually drives?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say you said they're traveling around the bus with the boys. I'm like, is that bus?
That bus, I believe, is a private plane. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that is gonna be a private.
It would be cooler if they did like the Madden button. The podcast is in the bus. I thought the bus actually drives. That's impressive, like the Madden bus, but. Whatever. Okay. See, that takes away a little bit of the excitement from me.
Yeah, I just killed some of the excitement. I'm sorry about that.
Whatever.
I apologize.
I guess we all have to grow up sometime.
At some point, we got to actually see the Oz.
Got to.
Right? Is that what it was?
Yeah. Oh, you got it right. The Oz behind the
curtain. Okay, good. I just wanted.
That was a good reference.
I just wanted to make sure I used one Armen's.
Good reference.
Yeah.
Next in the next segment, Drew, I'm going to bust out a couple of Seinfeld references.
I love it. Why don't you bust out a current electric superhero of the day?
I'm glad you said that because there is one brave soul, and I am very much trying to find this young lady who went to the crosstown rivalry this yesterday as the Chicago Cubs are taking on the Chicago White Sox. Maybe the most excited this rivalry has been in a long time. There was one thing that the Cubs and White Sox fans were uniting on. Not that there's no fighting in the bleachers.
Nope.
They were very much fighting in the bleachers on Monday night. But last night, they were all fighting one common enemy. A young, brave soul who I don't know her name, but thank you. Thank you. Here it is. As they start a Go Pack or a Green Bay Sucks chant. Now bring that audio down because there's some cursing that comes in here later on. Yeah, there's some background cursing that comes in there. Very much not a good thing to be able to play. I apologize. That's why I was talking over it. One young lady brings a big old G flag right into the bleachers at Wrigley Field. And in the midst of the Green Bay Sucks chant trying to unify and bring together Sox and Cubs fans, this brave soul carried the G like nobody's business and bust this flag out for a full inning, waving it proudly. And that young lady, I don't know her name, is our current electric superhero of the day.
You know, the Cubs/Packers fans confuse me, but at least it's like, at least you got one of them. Like there's a lot out there of some people that, you know, are Bucks, but like Cubs
like Nathan
fans.
Marzian, a big Bucks Twitter guy. He's a big Cubs fan, big Packers fan. He posted it and said ball knower. See, there are people that know ball, even though she's got a bad taste in baseball team. I am going to guess that it is because her parents watched WGN and it was the only channel that they could get. So that was why they grew up in that way, just outside of Antioch, Illinois, or just outside of Kenosha. And that's why they picked up on that side. And we can forgive her for all of the trials and mistakes that we've had, as long as coming up on week 5, we can celebrate her at Lambeau Field, and hopefully she finds her way to Lambeau Field in week 5 as the Packers beat down the Chicago Bears.
And how about the classy milk drinkers in the bleachers and the attack her.
There's one lady that sounds like a mom of 4 that's a
We'll learn nothing from Bartman, but what can you do? I mean, you can move the zoo, but the animals are going to be there, and the animals are in the Wrigley bleachers. That's just the way it is. So,
but listen,
the definition of carrying the G is going into enemy territory and unfurling that sucker.
In the Wrigley bleachers.
Best flag I've seen there since the L1 flew. So call current.com if you want a superhero. Now, it might not be that young lady to come and carry the G, but it's going to be one of the current electric superheroes. And Armen even said he saw the blue trucks driving around, the current electric trucks.
Let's talk about these. Yeah,
look like superheroes pulling up to you.
Those cars and the trucks, the current electric, man, I almost pulled over and took a picture. Those are the coolest looking cars with the wrap and the lightning bolt and all kinds of, or is it electrical current?
And that's just the lightning bolt, a little current.
Mean, they just look cool. I
think you might be onto something.
The way they painted those cars up, and you can see, I'm like, all right. The actual electric work they do, I'm sure, is awesome and great. We already know they do a hell of a job
Top
with that.
notch.
But let's talk about how cool those cars look. I feel like, you're like a superhero driving around on one of those things. So
Not even like.
I want to take a picture.
No, very much.
You very much are a superhero.
Yeah, you are.
The current electric superheroes. Call current.com for all your electrical needs.
And I would imagine there's going to be some. I don't know what the power outages were yesterday from the storm, but there's going to be a lot of people needing their services. So.
And hopefully a lot of people that have been listening to us and took advantage of their deal that they've had going on in the month of August, where when you get a whole home standby generator, you've been able to get 1 year free monitoring with a purchase in August. There's still plenty of time, still 12 days in August. Go to callcurrent.com. Whole home standby generator kicks in within seconds of that power going out, and you receive 1 free year of monitoring if you purchase it in August. So call current.com.
Love that. 877-794-1973, NicoletLaw.com, talking text line. Your hot takes are welcomed here. Give us your hot takes. Billy's hot take was the 8-4 Badger football season coming your way.
Come on, it's coming, boys. It's coming. It's going to happen. We saw a little bit of it last night with the Culver's uniforms at Camp Randall for their open practice.
How about everybody who went to that, despite the weather and stuff? They had to delay the gates by an hour.
It was a long time to be able to get in there, but it still looked like a nice showing. And also shout out Rob Havenstein for getting there and giving some pointers to the O-line boys.
I like that.
I like seeing more and more of the alumni there. Melvin Gordon was there over the weekend. I know that's been a push, and rightfully so. I think I don't want to speak for anybody that played there because I couldn't, but I would imagine it was difficult when there was a lot of things said about the way Badger football had been played. and wanting to, refresh and kind of change the way it looks. And when one of your own kind of gets passed up for the job, like Jimmy Leonard did, I think there were a lot of Badger alumni that felt some sort of way. There has been a clear objective and edict to bring those guys back. Brady Ewing being a big part of that with the alumni relations. So I love seeing that. Also, hot take, are they just letting everybody that has a cool YouTube channel or a TikTok page go down Bernie slide nowadays?
It does seem like I'm seeing more of that, and I've been waiting to go down for a long time.
I didn't think anybody got up there, and I feel like, Drew, I'm seeing these dudes do sweet 4K stick camera shots of it all the time now online.
Nah, yeah, and that's okay. We want to spread the love, and we want to spread the word about the great stadium we have. But, and not to make this about me, but I'd like to go down. I mean, hey, I don't know. Man, I started a YouTube channel. I got to get more viral, I guess, Billy, to do it. But it does seem like a lot of people
you got to get more videos of your cricket that was out in the hallway, and then maybe you would have that, and then you'd get to go down the slide.
One of the coolest, Katie did. One of the coolest leaf cricket.
Isn't that like an incentive, an option now for, I know,
season tickets,
season ticket holders,
maybe
partial packages, people that can do that. They can buy the partial, and then you get to slide down the slide, or you get to take like BP on the field and stuff.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, then that makes sense.
One of the
Okay.
perks, but you're right though. It does seem like to be more prevalent now.
This guy, King of JUCO, Eric Sim, YouTuber, 139,000 followers on X.
Jeez.
I tried Bernie slide. Well, you know what? I'm really happy for you, Eric. But I wish I was Eric today, and I wish I was going down on that giant slide. They also have the little like the rug that you have to slide down the giant slide at State Fair in. So now that we have all of those available again, let's get some people rolling down Bernie slide, seeing what that is. Also, don't roll into the wall like the young man from the Dodgers did. That Dodgers broadcaster that snapped his wrist a couple years ago.
Oh my!
Well, your problem, you got to be the king of JUCO. Unfortunately, you're the king of D3 College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin.
Yeah, apparently Midwest Conference doesn't get the love there.
Or is that what they call it? What do they call it?
Well, no, it was Midwest Conference for a couple of years. Now it's CCIW, Collegiate College of Illinois and Wisconsin. Good research you just did there.
Thanks, Al. Thanks to AI.
Let's go.
AI, baby.
All right, can I do a really quick?
And it was wrong.
You made me think about something for Hot Take Hump Day. I'm going to do a quick one, Billy, adjacent to yours. All right. Enough of this excuse that my dad, my grandpa, my great-grandpa listened to this radio 100 years ago and listened to your team. Start cheering for your home team. My dad grew up in Wilmington, Delaware. You don't see me cheering for the Phillies. Okay, I went to Citizens Bank Park once with a Carlos Villanueva t-shirt. All right, Brewers t-shirt. All right, enough of this stuff. You cheer for your own home team, not your grandpa's. All right, and listen, rest in peace to everybody's grandpa. I'm sure he was a great guy. I'm sure you had great memories. But you can cheer for your own home team. All right, there.
You can cheer for whoever you want.
You can, but my job is to gatekeep. Okay, as a fan.
Okay. All right.
Let's get in there and do some gatekeeping. I'm proud of you.
Here's one that's not a hot take. I'm just going to serve it up, and you can supply your own hot take. Although Andrew Marchand kind of did in his lead. The least surprising story that will hit your browser today is that Pat McAfee is going to be a member of Monday Night Countdown.
Oh, geez.
There you have it.
Because he doesn't have a lot of exposure.
What?
He will join, and he will be a part of the Super Bowl coverage he's going to join.
Oh, that makes sense.
Scott Van Pelt, Jason Kelsey, Marcus Spears, Jason McCourty replacing the fired Ryan Clark.
Okay. Yes.
Well, again, this isn't a shock.
Not surprising at all.
$65 million.
They're putting him on everything. Yeah.
But Andrew Marchand's lead pretty much sums it up for me. ESPN's motto is serving sports fans anytime, anywhere. It soon may be serving Pat McAfee anytime. Anytime, anywhere. Yeah. And 3 times as much as Stephen A. If it's $60 million, now Pat pays all the people behind to actually like do the show and the production of it and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
But like when they signed Stephen A to that 5-year, $100 million deal and people were stunned that all of a sudden he was there on the desk for the finals. They're going to find a way to get in there. I'm just surprised Stephen A and McAfee weren't a part of the Inside the NBA coverage of the finals.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, like if they're going to he's going to be at the Little League World Series, I would assume then. They are pumping that Pat McAfee on any and every possible coverage that they have. And as the Pat McAfee fan of it, I'm like, hey man, let's slow the roll a little bit here. I don't know that he needs to be on every single show, every single hour of every single game. My goodness.
But it is. It's like, hey, if it sticks, let's throw it out there, and that's what they're trying to do.
I thought Kelsey was going to start doing games, so he is still going to do the Monday Night Countdown.
Apparently.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Now he might be the second game that they're doing that because they have a number of different ones in there. But wow, it'll be the college game day version of the Super Bowl pregame show for 6 hours
to bring it all back home to Pat McAfee. He put out the music, the album.
He did. I thought that was AI.
Diary of a Polarizing Figure, available on Spotify and YouTube. Now, Stephen Hayden, who is an Appleton native and was the music editor at the AV Club, and he worked at Grantland for a while, and the Onion and stuff. Stephen Hayden's a talented writer. He reviewed it. Someone asked him, as a music critic, would you review Pat McAfee's album?
Oh boy,
hilarity ensued, as you can imagine.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah,
and he said something. He tweeted something to the effect of, to all of the people in inner circle of Pat McAfee and all of his friends who didn't talk him out of producing this and putting out this album, thank you.
Make sure you have it out there for us to be able to
because it
consume.
gave him something to tee up. I mean,
I saw people. I didn't listen to any of it, admittedly. Okay, I just didn't. But I saw a lot of people debating this because, I guess there were some prominent voices saying how it was truly a good, really good and really awesome. And then everyone accused them of just trying to suck up to Pat. And then I didn't know if this whole thing was a big joke or if it was serious. And it's just hard to know what to make of anything these days. But have you listened, Billy, to any of it?
I can't say I have.
Yeah.
No, I can't say I
subhead,
have.
the headline is, ask a music critic, can you please review this Pat McAfee album? And the subhead says, when making fun of a rich, malignant doofus obscures deeper, more important truths. You can kind of guess which way this is going to go.
Where it's going to lean, yeah.
Yeah. Here you go. For those who are unfamiliar, and so Stephen Hayden's audience, not really maybe sports front forward. For those who are unfamiliar, Pat McAfee is a former NFL kicker, punter, whatever, who is currently one of the most prominent voices on ESPN, the sports cable network that, like MTV, was once beloved in the 80s and 90s, but now has fully devoted into unwatchable reality TV starring a shrinking number of personalities that nobody on earth actually likes, but nonetheless scan as famous.
Yeah.
Even those populating Pat's own inner circle apparently can't stand the man, as nobody talked him out of releasing the Diary of a Polarizing Figure, a melange of shop-worn country, boilerplate trap, and the sort of uncut and unrelenting grievance that only a man who is reportedly set to make $60 million a year to wear tank tops and look relatively cogent while standing next to the oversized slab of molded silly putty that is AJ Hawk's face can reasonably muster.
AJ took
Wow.
AJ catching
For
a
my man that
stray.
doesn't like it or doesn't watch it, he's sure got some takes on it.
Oh, my
Well,
goodness.
it seems like, look, Pat's popular. We can't deny that. He's
Yeah.
got numbers. Now, my thing is Pat 100% serious with it? Is his point to make people talk about it and laugh about it and just be goofy? That's my number one thing. Is he really intending to be a musical genius?
Hearing him talk about it, it's definitely something that he cared
Wants to
about,
do?
that he
It's
definitely wanted to do.
Passion project.
He
Yeah,
definitely
absolutely.
spent a bunch of money paid a bunch of money to be able to do it. He's got a lot of people in Nashville that were trying to make it sound good, from what I'm guessing.
And then Hayden goes on, before we get into this, I need to register my usual reservations when it comes to pans of self-evidently garbage albums. One, I don't necessarily relish reviewing a preordained artistic disaster, even when it's made by a rich, malignant doofus, the easiest and most satisfying target there is. Two, the very easiness of the target is why I don't relish it. Three, because mocking rich, malignant doofuses, while undoubtedly fun and popular on the internet, often distracts from some deeper truth that's more interesting and probably more meaningful. So the Stephen Hayden thing is pretty damn funny.
Well, there you go.
I definitely got to find some of that stuff that's way more meaningful.
Yeah. I mean,
I gotta find the way more meaningful stuff that my man Steven's writing about.
Well,
that.
if you're an art critic, you are really into a lot of art, and I'm sure he has something he's into, but art is all subjective. Let's say that. So, that's just saying.
Yeah. I
I honestly have not listened to any part of the album. No, I don't think I will. Not that I'm
Yeah, I
taking
don't
a
really plan
stance
to,
on it. I
but-
just don't plan on coming across it,
Mhm.
But
But I'll be watching the show. I know, and I'm,
Yeah. You can watch the show and not buy the album and listen to the album
Yeah.
and put it on your Spotify playlist. Yeah.
Now, if you and for the Pat fans out there, they don't like hearing stuff like this.
Yeah,
'Cause they
that's
love
true.
Pat,
Yeah.
right, Bill? That's what it is.
yeah, but also I don't you don't have to love everything that somebody does. Even if you're a fan, I've been a fan of a lot of guys that I've definitely disagreed with things that they've done. I also just I love though how mad he can make people.
That's true.
And it is remarkable how in people's feelings him doing anything can make people. The frustration when his name is attached to anything is really impressive. That's an impressive impact you can have on the world when you can make people that frustrated.
But some things are timeless and timelessly bad. Like William Shatner's music.
Oh, I didn't even know he made music.
And William Shatner was a great artist in his way as an actor, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like Shaq made albums.
He's putting out like a metal album now, William Shatner is. But he's got, oh, yeah.
Oh, damn.
He is going back to the 60s. He put out, yeah. Oh, yeah. William Shatner's been doing music for a long time. But
and guys, and I always think athletes want to be entertainers and entertainers want to be athletes.
That's definitely a true.
Shatner in 68 put out a dramatic spoken word album that is still people play as we used to play it as comedy bits back in the day.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I got to go check that out.
Yeah. You got to check it out. So I don't know. And people get Armen's favorite word, hubris.
They do.
Like everything I do is awesome. So I'm going to put this into the world and people will like it. And then people make fun of it. And you're like, oh, you're just a hater.
Even the
you
famous,
just hate him because he's successful and famous. Like, no, I hate him because he put out this thing that's.
But there's also people that he could come out with like the cure of cancer and people would be like, that's ridiculous. No, that's not care. Who cares? That's not what we're talking about.
Some guys are lightning rods. Some guys are lightning rods.
Oh, yeah. No question. And I don't know. Is Pat working on a cure? Because that I could get behind.
I don't know. If he's got $60 million coming his way per year, he might have a chance.
Might have a chance, or he'll just try to make $100 million and be on more shows.
Just might have to.
Right.
Yeah,
that's true.
All right, 877-794-1973. You're in the huddle. Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew, Billy, and Armen. This portion of the program brought to you by Game Day Men's Health. Check them out online. I'll be visiting the Brookfield location after the show today. GameDayMen'sHealth.com, helping men improve their lives with a variety of services. Great people doing great work. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Check them out. All right, 877-794-1973. We're hot take humping. We're not neglecting the fact that the Brewers spanked the Mariners 22-0 last night. What a rollicking good time on a stormy night in Milwaukee.
It's nice to be able to run through a team like that, especially one that, I mean, like people would say Seattle's an awful team. Well, a year ago, they were pretty dang good. A year ago, check me if I'm wrong, weren't they a series away from going to the World Series just like you were? I mean, This was one that you had circled in the preseason, and then you realize that it's not always about, Drew, who you play. It's when you play.
When you play them, results not linear. Look at the Blue Jays. Look at all these teams that were good last year, not good this year, but they all still have talent, right? That's the point. So it's always good to get those.
Mariners are in just a weird spot. They're 8 games under 500 and 4 games out of winning the division.
Yeah, and the wild card also is no good either in the AL. So you have opportunities if you literally have one good week in the American League to make a move. It is a weird spot. It's one of those situations where I guess it's good for certain fan bases to have hope in that regard, but their team doesn't win and they lose by 22.
If the playoffs started today, the American League wild card would be the Yankees, Red Sox, and Rangers.
And the other day was Baltimore, right? So Rangers have jumped up. Yeah.
The Twins and Blue Jays are a half game out of that. The Guardians, Orioles, and Tigers are a game out of that. And the Mariners are 3 games out of that.
Got to be remarkable for Blue Jays fans that have been bad or inch from winning the World Championship last year, have been bad all year, but still realistically could make a playoff run if they get in,
9 teams within easy striking distance of a wild card berth right now.
That's incredible. And I mean, whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing, it's what expanded playoffs did for you. It's keeping all these teams somewhat into it, somewhat relevant. And I mean, to like the Blue Jays, who wants to face, if he's healthy, Shane Bieber, Dylan Cease, and Jose Soriano, who they grabbed at the deadline in a 3-game series. Like, I mean, they can pump anybody out there for you.
They have guys, and they just need their lineup to get runs those individual days. Like, that's what it's about, right? So it should be pretty interesting to see what happens.
And they also need their best player to actually play to his baseball card. A lot of good smoke for Cal Raleigh, justifiably so.
Yep.
You look at Vlad Guerrero's numbers this year. I mean, his are astoundingly down. 260, 693 OPS. I think he's hit 7 bombs all year long. And this was a dude that knocked on the door of 40 or 50 a year ago. That's crazy.
Right. And even the guy they lost to the Mets, Bichette, right? I mean, he's headed down here. So it's funny how many guys have struggled that you expect to be good.
Kyle Tucker.
Yeah. And for a while, Tatis, although Tatis
that one I smile by.
Yeah. That's
you
good.
see Kyle hot take. Was Kyle Tucker crying in the dugout, or did he have something in his eye?
Sure looked like he was crying.
Sure looked like he was wiping away some tears in that Dodgers dugout after he dropped that fly ball up 10-1.
Yeah.
That's a tough look for any human being. Also, really wish the Cubs would have locked him up instead of this Alex Bregman.
That would have been nice.
Yeah, it took Bregman a while to get going, but he's a good player.
Yeah, I was really enjoying first, 90 game Alex Bregman.
Right.
Now I'm not nearly enjoying him as much since he's like a 300 average and slugging 490 or whatever.
No, he's been good. That whole lineup is. There's no question. And you mentioned another guy really quick. Tatis had a great game last night. 2 homers and a great catch. And he was the guy that started off slow this year, but he's really played a lot better lately. Figured it out for the Padres who are making their run.
He didn't hit a homer for the first 2 months of the season.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's just remarkable. Someone with that much talent can have that many at-bats.
Now, Drew, were you ever MVP ballot, or did you have all the other ballots? Okay,
no, all the time. Yeah.
So, like, when you fill that out, because I'm looking at it, and I mentioned it to Armen here today. You got to fill out 10 votes, right?
Yep.
Like you fill it up that way. Is there any place for a guy like Tatis who has a ridiculous second half, and all of a sudden his team is scorching hot, when he was the combination of A and Cheeks in the beginning of the season, and now all of a sudden he's like rolling? Like Jackson Merrill is one of the best hitters on the planet, but his numbers in the beginning of the year wouldn't have given him any thought for that spot.
No, you can definitely factor that in, but if it's going to be like a 9th or a 10th,
it's somewhere down on the bottom of one of those last little
10 guys and
token vote you end up giving.
You're looking for the top, and I mean, Tatis 15 homers, 60 RBI. That's not great.
Those are not MVP numbers, no.
But in the context of what he meant and when he got hot, yes. But it is a full season award. You're rewarding somebody's full season. So a guy who had a much better body of work throughout the season is going to get the
look.
Yeah.
It's one that I always forgot about. Like when you see how good Lorenzo Cain actually was in 18, like he garnered a lot of MVP votes.
Yeah, because he had that high WAR.
And rightfully so, because he was so ridiculously good in the center field. Scored a ton of runs as the leadoff guy for that team every single day.
Yeah, they made that big deal, and it was really for that first couple years, but that first year because he wasn't the same after that. But there was that concern, even with Yelich's great second half. I remember, Billy, that they were going to split votes a little bit. That some people would take votes away because of the WAR was somewhat similar, and that's when people started.
Almost had a 7 WAR that year.
He did. That's when people started realizing that the value of that spot, the value of that number. I remember when Gomez had a big WAR year, and everyone started realizing what his value was in center field. Pretty interesting.
Locaine tied for 6th that year, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's impressive. He got.
By the way, Yelich was unanimous that year, so they got it right.
Yes, they were very much correct there. Baez was very, very good, but he wasn't close to winning it. Drew, you want to hear one of the more embarrassing things that I've done? I went full Armen Saryan yesterday.
All right, you watched the 1994 Open to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Close. Yeah, what does that mean? Close. Yeah. And it wasn't that I dug up the 1996 Packers preview before the divisional round game against the 49ers. No, it was that I was watching television and watching somewhere on the 4-letter network them break down just how good PCA has been, just how good and how impressive his season is. And they listed off that there have only been 2 guys to lead the league in WAR, his favorite stat, and go 30-30. It was Mike Trout, and I'm gonna forget the other individual. It was more back into the early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken.
Like, was it Bonds maybe or somebody like that?
I thought it was Bonds, but I don't believe it was, because I don't think he was stealing 30 bags when he was leading the league in WAR that way, right? Like that was right near the end of it. But it was Mike Trout and insert other really good player here. Hold on. Excuse me. I'm not trying to be the Department of Corrections here. You're going to tell me Shohei Ohtani was the first 50-50 player to not also lead the league in WAR and go 30-30 and win the MVP unanimously, which I just watched him do a couple of years ago? So I had to go to Baseball Reference, dug it up, pulled up the screenshots, and then found out that I was wrong. And then had to verify it and send it to Armen Saryan to talk about just how good Aaron Judge has been. I went in to correct a stat that I saw on television where they clearly vetted it a couple of different times because, Drew, I was hell-bent on the fact that I was right.
You knew you were right.
I knew I was right. Whoa. And I knew I was flat wrong after I looked, and Aaron Judge had, I think it was a 10.9
crazy
wins above replacement.
Most guys never have a season like that.
Shohei Ohtani had the first season in baseball history that went 50 homers and 50 stolen bases. He was only 9 wins above replacement. Yeah. So I don't know what that stat is. I don't understand it. I don't think I ever will. I am very glad that it is here so we can look back and tell people about how good guys were. But don't ever ask me to figure out what it means, because if that wasn't the most impressive season of all time, I don't know what is. Apparently Aaron Judge, though.
Is that
maybe a little underrated as to how good he is.
I was going to say, is that a good...
maybe a little underappreciated as just insanely good he is.
Is that a good reminder how good, certain guys have been like he's been so good, but because he hasn't won a World Series and he's a Yankee captain, he doesn't get the love. Maybe people get desensitized by it, but pretty remarkable.
I'm out here screenshotting Drew MVP ballot results from 2024 and sending him around.
Oh my God.
And highlighting different parts. And I'm like, dude, you're full Armening yourself right now as you just got off at our Belgium quick trip on I-43 to do a little bit of work. Like it just
pretty wonderful.
I had to look at it. I had to pull over. I had to check it out.
Pull over to when you have to pull over on the road to check a Baseball Reference. That is peak Armen.
That is full Armen.
I appreciate. I can fully empathize.
The only way it would have been more Armen is if it had happened and you were shopping for produce at Pick and Save.
Maybe. Oh yeah. Oh,
and I had to put down the tangerines
and
to go
looking
check
for the
numbers.
day old and the discounted produce.
Hey, you know what? It made me think though when you
I did look at the day old bakery.
Listen, that's a big deal. Listen, thanks for the Long Johns, by the way. We didn't thank you yet today.
No, those are this morning. Sorry, but
delicious.
Yeah. 30-30 seasons. A lot of Brewers fans will never remember Tommy Harper. It was in the first year of the Brewers' existence.
That's right.
And because it was the Brewers had just existed, they moved from Seattle from the Pilots, and they weren't very good. And, obviously we don't remember much previous to the 80s Brewers when they started getting good. But Tommy Harper, when 1970, had 38 stolen bases, 31 homers. So for a team that was just starting out, not very good for the Brewers, though, he was the star. So that's kind of a good. I looked him up. He had a 7 WAR that year. So maybe the early star for the Brewers, I would say.
No question.
And I would say when you think of underappreciated or seasons that were good but will be forgotten, I think about, and I saw a cut up today of Chris Carter's 2016 Brewers season. Led the NL with 41 homers.
What a great one.
94 RBIs, and then he had 821 OPS, and he'll never be remembered again in a way. Like, he was never heard from again. And then the Brewers just started getting really good after that. So, in a lot of ways, we'll never remember it. But I'll speak your name, Chris Carter, and that one season you had.
There you go.
Yeah.
Armen's going to keep it alive.
Keep that thing going, baby.
Keep it alive.
But he's on the the Mount Rushmore of forgotten great Brewer seasons as well.
Because did he ever play again?
He played 1 year. I think he got signed for the Yankees for like $800K. After a year like that, I'm like, nobody wants a high homer guy that could DH.
Yeah, no one wanted Keston Hiura either.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but
that was mean. I didn't have to.
Still getting a check.
I
didn't
have
to do that one.
Listen, don't give up. Weaver's out there playing. Joey Ortiz is playing well. No, but Chris, I think, played for the Yankees, and then that was it. I think one more year.
Would Lorenzo Cain be a possibility for a playoff first pitch?
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Right. Like because you can only dust off having Robin Yount throw how many?
That's true.
He's throwing a ton.
Every series.
Every single one.
World Series.
We got to start digging into some of those other early, like 2010s,
Corey Hart's and the JJ.
Yeah, those guys.
Gomez is definitely gonna be. I mean, we've
Randy
trotted
Wolf.
Niger Morgan out there how many different times?
Yeah, Niger
now?
Morgan is the Brewers' Brandon Jennings.
Yeah, that's a great
Hit
comparison.
that bell.
That's a great.
That is it. Yeah, 100%.
I think Randy Wolf should hit the first pitch for a homer. Just
Hey, Randy Wolf. There you go.
That would be a good possibility. When's Matt Garza's first pitch?
Sean
That was
Markham. When's Markham coming back?
On fan appreciation night.
When we return, we're going to have a wake and bake story to close out our day. It's been epic today. It's always is. So we're in the afterglow of a 22-0 Brewers victory.
Hard to be bad.
Game this evening at American Family Field. Game 2. Dustin May on the mound for the Brewers. You're in the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. The Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Drew Wilson, Bill Schmidt, Armen Sarian, your favorite morning trio for you early risers, insomniacs, sociopaths, and just friends of the program. We're glad you wake up with us. We're glad you wake and bake with us. That's what we're doing. HappyPlaceHemp.com, the presenting sponsor of the Wake and Bake segment on our show. Use the code Huddle for 25% off and free shipping. Whatever you order from their array of the best CBD products known to man, check them out. HappyPlaceHemp.com, Huddle. 25% off and free shipping. Billy, what's a good one today?
Well, I could go through a number of different frustrations I have with this ESPN press release as to their NFL coverage. Most importantly, Kurt Warner not being on game day mornings on NFL Network is a frustrating one. But we will go instead to last night, and I don't think we have to go any further than where Julio Rodriguez struggled off a fly ball off the bat of Christian Yelich, who had already gone yard in the night. Caught a ball with 1 out in the 8th inning, threw that son of a gun right up into the stands. You would think to an admiring and excited young lad. But I'm pretty sure if you go back and look at the highlight, I think he throws it out of the stadium. He turns around, fires it over the Miller Lite deck. But the best thing is, and Armen, this should be in the station account. You should be able to access it in the DMs over there, was Pat Murphy. And audio is courtesy of our friend Pat Timlin over of WISN 12 fame. And Pat Murphy spoke after the game last night and was asked about that moment and asked about how on earth can a Major League Baseball player in the midst of a game not be laser focused and dialed in and know this. Murph, you've seen a lot of baseball. You've coached a lot of baseball. Has this ever happened before? How does this happen, Murph?
I mean, at that point, I was playing catch in the hallway here with Jackson. So I could be guilty of that too, because Jackson and I were playing catch. I didn't see the play, but yeah, that can happen. Guys lose their focus for a second, especially a guy that's played as long as he has and understands the game and has done so much for the game. Those things happen, especially in the scores like that.
How does that happen, Murph? How does that happen? What are you going to, what would you do if that happened in your clubhouse? I don't know. I would have been guilty of the same thing.
I love that.
Like, there's just nobody better, and 22 runs, Drew, will make you breathe a little bit easier and probably feel a little bit better talking into a microphone. But Murph is as good as it gets, and that one last night was chef's kiss. Sorry, I was playing catch. I didn't even see what happened.
Yeah,
You guys tell me what happened?
How does that sound?
It's hilarious. You have to accept the reality that, like, even though it was like, okay, yeah, it's bad it was an unusual baseball situation. It was like they're just goofing around. It was the end of a blowout. Guys are throwing eephus pitches. It was not. I'm almost 100% sure if the game was 2-1 in the 9th, he wouldn't have done that. Okay, like, let's be honest. So now Milton Bradley did it once for the Cubs. That was my favorite because that was in the middle of a close game. Milton Bradley threw a ball in the bleachers when there was less than an out, or there was less than 2 outs, and he thought there was 2 outs. There was 1 out. That one was always one that warmed my cockles, if you want to go look that one up, because that was really a bonehead play that cost the Cubs.
It's a 5-3 game in the top of the 8th inning. He catches the ball thinking the inning is over. They score 1 run. My man runs around and all of a sudden get 2 bases after another tag up, and boom, we're plating a couple, and this game is over on WGN Sports.
And the thing about Milton Bradley is he was a guy everyone loved to get on. Like, he was the lightning rod. He was the one every other fan base hated. So that was funny. This one I can excuse. It's a 21-18 nothing, whatever it was. Like, give me a break. It doesn't matter at that point.
It's still a bad look.
It's a bad look. I get it.
Not exactly.
It's the worst look possible.
Well,
however, the best answer that you could possibly come up with
answer
Pat
was
Murphy.
hilarious.
Hey, man, I'm not going to trash somebody else's player. I'm just going to make fun of myself.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. The last thing, Drew, when you see Stephen Vogt and who was it, Torey Lovello got into it, and they had to move the frustration and the anger because the tarp was trying to come out. They're like, guys, we need to get the tarp on here. It wasn't the fact that Stephen Vogt was mad about what had happened. He was mad that he was talking to my players. Don't you talk to my players. I'll handle my guys. Yeah. I'll handle mine.
Yeah, that was.
I like that.
That
you
got
feel
heated.
about your locker room.
That got heated. Julio Rodriguez makes what, 18 million?
That sounds about right. Yeah, he signed a pretty big deal.
Yeah, but if we're throwing position players, then the game's over and everyone has accepted that.
Kangaroo court though.
All right, kangaroo court. Yeah.
Kangaroo court should get him.
So is that going to be a pretty impressive spread that he has to treat everybody to, or does he buy dinner tonight? Or
yeah,
because that's absolutely a thing.
I hope they still do kangaroo court. I don't even know if they do.
Well, that was big during rain
delays. Guys just
right?
look at their phones now.
I was going to say it. Either their phones or bring their PS5 and load that up into the clubhouse. I would assume he's got to pay some kind of good penance for that, because
yeah, man,
that's a hard one to forgive. But it's also very synonymous with how their season has gone. It's
Yes,
pretty symbolic
that's
as to how the Mariners season has rolled through.
Want to know how the Mariners are doing? Here you go.
Here's the game to
Throw
watch.
a ball in the stands with 2 outs. That's where we're at.
With a third baseman
Our
pitching.
$18 million guy with a third baseman pitching, and we're down in the worst loss in franchise. Yeah, well, what the hell? And like I said, though, turn the page. Like, they could still win the series.
They could still win the series. They could very much score 20 on you tonight. Also, did anybody have a better 2 days than Kyle Harrison's ERA, Drew?
Oh,
he went on a scoring decision, took off 5 runs in that San Diego game.
I get why they appealed it, because there were 5 runs in the balance, but I still don't think I thought that was a low throw, and it was not normal effort to try to hold the bag and catch that throw, I guess. But what do I know?
His ERA went from 3.47 to 2.99, and then last night's 5 scoreless moved that son of a gun all the way down to 2.84, and Kyle Harrison is right back where he wanted to be.
He'll take it. He'll take it for sure. All right, tomorrow on the program, more Brewers Mariners talk. Packers getting ready to travel to Denver for their second preseason game. We'll be talking about that. Might even mix in some Badgers talk as well. Let's see you tomorrow at 5 a.m.
Peace.